Yo, 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 what is up? What is up, guys? Hope everyone's having a fantastic night today. This stream is sponsored by BetUS, so definitely go check them out if you guys have not. Hope everyone's doing well today. I know it's been, we just, we still have a few days left. We have till what, the 13th? Free agency definitely starts. I was supposed to stream a little earlier at like 10 o'clock, and I was so behind on so much stuff today. So I was like, should I even stream tonight? But, I want to follow a schedule. So we are here. We are definitely here. So obviously, the last few days, really, since we won the Super Bowl, everything's been high spirits. And, what is Howie going to do in this offseason program? And, just everything between the draft and free agency and all of that. And then we kind of get into some, a little bit of drama, which was definitely not needed. With the whole, Darius Slay interviews and, whether people agree with it or not, I think it, I don't think it's totally I don't think it's totally interfering with anything, but I mean, at this point, I don't even know if he's coming back. I mean, it doesn't even sound like he's coming back by the way he's talking about everything. So that's where I'm kind of at with the whole entire, just with everything going forward. You know what I mean? So it's been kind of crazy. We have a lot more shit to worry about. And, Howie Roseman's got a plan going into the offseason. And, so far, I think we've done a pretty good job, extending Saquon, saving some cap. And obviously, we found out, by Jeremy Fowler that, we found out that Zach Bond was really the main priority of this offseason. So that's really good, So, but want to thank all the 86 people in the chat right now. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the stream, guys. Hope everyone's doing well. I don't know how long we're going to go for today, but, we're going to, what's going on? Kavai Jones, Javier, what's going on? HVS, Warriors Rage, what's going on, man? We got Steve Rose. Let's see. It's a Philly thing. CJ Davis, Chris Coffin. What's going on, man? Clark. What's going on, man? Logan Motorsports. What's going on, man? Beast Guard. What's going on, man? So I don't know what you guys want to talk about first. It's really up to you guys. Realistically, I'll go through the questions and So if we want to just go by the Slay stuff really quick, I don't know. We don't really have to talk about it for that much. But Slay went on an interview and pretty much was asked a few things. I think one was about the top 5 quarterbacks. He didn't name Jalen Hurts. You just got off a championship. You don't even have Jalen Hurts as your top 5 quarterback that you've been to either the playoffs or 2 Super Bowls with already. He named, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, the normal ones that everybody talks about that haven't been to a Super Bowl, haven't even hit the playoffs in a few years, or haven't really amounted to anything. Slay pretty much said, those quarterbacks are in their own, they're in a, what's it called, of their own. They have their own, they have an eliteness of their own or something like that. And that kind of threw everybody off. And then, that he was asked the question of, hey, who's going to be the next vet that steps up, as the leader when you're not, if you don't re-sign back with the Eagles? And he said Reed Blankenship. So since Chauncey's name wasn't even like mentioned, okay, Chauncey like fired back at Slay, like on a million different tweets that came out on X. Like at the end of the day, like, where were you in 23 when the last time you had a vet, that a veteran player can only be a leader, and Chauncey was like, you had Q, you had some of these other guys that are starting to come up now. Chauncey kind of was like, hey, in 23, when I wasn't even, when I wasn't in, playing for the Eagles and I was with the Lions, he pretty much was like, you had a veteran player at safety. And where did it get you guys? It got you kicked out of the wild card game. And that was Kevin Byard, which I totally forgot. Someone was like, I was like, I wonder who he's talking about at safety in 22. In 23. I was like, I forgot who was the safety in 23. Kevin Byard. Who even remembers Kevin Byard? He signed here. We were excited about it. And by the time everything fucking fell down the drain, everything. Who even remembers Kevin? I don't even remember Kevin Byard. It was literally like he signed here and like everyone disappeared. So guys lead. You don't have to be an old vet to be a leader, because unfortunately, like, I'm sorry, Slay, but in 23, what did he do in 23 when this defense had no self-urgency, no pushback? They had no fight, no nothing. When the 49ers went into our pregame warm-ups pushing Bradbury around, did Slay keep guys accountable? No, he went with the wave. He went with the flow with everybody else. He didn't do anything. Does Slay call? He's a leader, I guess, in his own regard, but obviously you can lead. There are guys that lead by example. They're not the rah-rah type of leader like Fletcher Cox, guys like that. And then you have those guys that are rah-rah type guys. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is, if not the most important guy that was so fucking... Not having him around that 1 year, like, just imagine, like, if we were getting bullied on the field like that, Chauncey, this wouldn't have been acceptable at all. Wouldn't have been acceptable whatsoever. So, Reed Blankenship is the next leader? Not really in my eyes. I mean, everyone's a leader in some type of way, but realistically, it starts with Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. We were missing him 100%. So then Slay goes on. So after all that, then Slay goes on, this Commanders fan, Jay Rondo, whatever his name is. Really, really cool guy. I actually enjoy watching him. He's a Commanders content creator. Well, he reacts to a lot of Commanders in NFL games, highlights. He does like a lot of highlight reactions. Okay. Slay was playing GTA 5 with him, and Slay was like, he was like, oh, why don't you come to the Commanders so we can run this shit, blah, blah, blah. And, Slay was like, oh, for the right price, I'll come back, blah, blah. Like, I'm just kind of done with him, bro. Like, I'm done. I had a lot to say. Remember when we were going to the playoffs in 23? Remember that shit? And he was like, remember that video that came out? We had that road game and that wild card road game in Tampa Bay, and he was like, oh, I'm glad we're not playing in Philadelphia so we don't get booed. It's fucking insane, dude. It's insane, the shit that he says. Like, I understand, like, bro, you're not some Joe Schmo. Like, you got some fame to your name, dude. Anything you say, it's going to... You know what I mean? It's going to have consequences. You're going to piss Eagle fans off, and that's what you've been doing the last few years. So, I don't know. Now, on top of everything else, like, another thing that pisses everybody off is that stop fucking, during the season, stop podcasting with other players, especially rival players, during the season. You fucking do that stream with Micah Parsons, people are going to get pissed off. Like, what do you think? What do you think's going to happen? I understand he wants to have his opinions, and I get that, but bro, like, you gotta play that professional card too sometimes, because you're not a normal Joe Schmo, bro. You can't just be on a podcast. And, like, you see Devontae Smith on a podcast during the year. You see AJ Brown on a podcast during the year. You see Jalen Hurts with other players on podcasts during the year. No, of course not. Of course not. You know what I mean? So realistically, like, it put a bad taste in my mouth from what happened the other day. Like, at this point, I'm just like, just fucking go, dude. It's like, he almost went to Baltimore at one point. Before last season, he almost went to Baltimore. It was this close. His wife was pissed off. I remember she was flipping out on social media. Like, they must have had like a fight or a little argument about where he was going and not staying in Philly. And he comes back for more money. Remember when Seth Joyner called out all the cornerbacks that they didn't want to fucking hit people? And he comes out on his podcast saying, oh, at my age, I don't hit like that anymore. I have a family. I have kids. I'm an older guy. I don't really hit like that. And, he's acting as if like a cornerback that makes a lot of tackles is not a good stat in a game. You know what I mean? he's throwing the team under the bus. Like, if the Eagles lose, he would go on a podcast and be like, oh, team didn't play good, but I thought I did pretty good. You know, he does that shit, and I don't like that shit. So that's kind of where I am with that whole thing, dude. It's just a bad taste in my mouth, bro. I don't like it. I've had a lot of shit to say about Slay, bro. Unfortunately, he's just a very outgoing type guy, but I don't think half the time he realizes the shit that he says and does. I don't think he's doing it on purpose sometimes because he's just trying to be himself, but like, dude, you won a championship and not putting Hurts in a top five. Like, I don't get how these other quarterbacks have this eliteness of their own. And Josh Allen can't win a playoff game on the road, can't even reach a Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson hasn't reached a Super Bowl. Joe Burrow has reached one Super Bowl, hasn't even been in the fucking playoffs after that. Like, I'm tired of hearing this, like, regular season award talk. Like, these fucking guys don't win. These fucking guys don't win. And that's just kind of where I'm at right now. You know what I mean? So it pisses me off. It pisses me off. So at this point, it's like, what do you do? Do you sign Isaiah Rodgers back as the number 2 guy? You know, do you sign another? Do you sign another DB in the first round? I don't hate Slay, but he just does shit that he puts himself in a fucking corner. And that's what he does. I don't care what AJ Brown had to say today. Oh, you're the fans. You know the media doesn't do nothing. You fans feed the media everything and blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, I understand some of that, but realistically, this isn't the first time Slay has done this shit. So, you know what I mean? That's where I'm at. So let's go over the super chats real quick. We got Clark with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. He said Joey, Hendrickson, Garrett. I want Trey, in my opinion. Yeah, dude. There's the one thing I could say is there's a lot of edge rushers that are available right now. Trey Hendrickson, you know, obviously is 30 years old. Apparently the rumor is for Trey Hendrickson, you only have to give up a second round pick or a late third. It probably will be a couple picks, but a late third to a second round pick for Trey Hendrickson for a couple to a few years on a redone contract doesn't sound bad at all. I mean, Harold Landry just got released, okay? Just got released. He's coming off a 9-sack season, I think, Harold Landry. Because we know, obviously, Trey Hendrickson's coming off 17 sack seasons, over 30 sacks the last couple years. You know, so there's a lot of pass rushers available. Javon Hargrave got released. I mean, they might sign Javon Hargrave to a cheap deal at 31 years old, but, you know, to play that Milton Williams role. If they can't, look, you got to realize something. They might hit on a couple defensive linemen in free agency just because they even might hit one on the draft. But realistically, you have to sign a tight end. I don't know what they're doing with Dallas Goedert. You know, you got to sign an offensive lineman in this draft because, I mean, hopefully Mekhi Becton's going to get signed. If he gets signed, I'll feel a lot better going to this offseason to say, hey, you know, Trevor Keegan will be in competition. You know, Trevor Keegan can produce for another offseason, and you have Tyler Steen back there as well. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens with the Mekhi Becton situation as soon as possible, but we'll see. Fabio Villacano with the super chat. By the way, guys, I can't put up the chats right now. By June, July, pretty much when like it's dead season, I'm going to be upgrading a lot of stuff by that time. That's like my upgrading 2 months when football's dead and we're not doing anything. So I have some things I have to do with this computer in June, July-ish, doing some room changes, doing a whole bunch of stuff, overlays and things like that. So that will be the change period of the channel and stuff. Just to let you guys know. Dallas Goedert. Vavio says Dallas Goedert is with Big Farama promo. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. The Dallas Goedert news has been interesting, too. Apparently, Jeff McClain put out a tweet today saying that there's an NFL executive that thinks that he's going to be moved. I guess whether he's traded or they redo his contract. Unfortunately, he's like 11.8 against the cap. It's a lot. You know what I mean? So yeah, you're going to be losing 2 tight ends after this season. Calcaterra's a free agent, so potentially you're losing some guys. You're losing some guys here and there. So we'll see what happens with that. But we'll give it some time, and you know, I don't know what you're going to do there with the Dallas Goedert situation. That cap number has got to lower. I would probably have to agree it's got to lower at some point, unless they trade him. If they trade Dallas Goedert or don't trade for a tight end, which possibly they can. I know that Raiders tight end that's 23 years old. They might trade for him. I forgot what's his name. I always forget his name. Something Mayer. I forgot his name. So there's we'll see what happens with that. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Dwan Jones says, boy, Eagles fans are not high on Ringo. He's different cornerback. He's physical cornerback. Shake my head. The kid is 22. Time for the young guys. No, I get it, dude. And I always fight with Eagle fans over this Keely Ringo thing that's going on. Unfortunately, bro, it's like they have to draft somebody, or they need more than Keely Ringo. Keely Ringo ain't gonna cut it. It's not enough for me going into an offseason program, training camp, OTAs, all of that. Like him by himself. They got to add more to the group he needs competition. He didn't win the job. Okay. We haven't seen enough of him. It's not even I could say he's a good player or a bad player. Maybe he has slow hips. Maybe he's better downhill type guy. Maybe there's Eagle fans out there that like a position change with him. I have no idea. But, Keely Ringo needs an opportunity. I don't think he's had much of an opportunity. That's all. I mean, I need to see more, bro. To be him as a promising number 2 right now, it's not enough for me. He hasn't played enough. He hasn't shown enough, in my opinion. You know what I mean? So when you don't play that much, it's hard. I understand when you want to go the youth movement, but you don't want to go reckless either. Like, don't just be blinded by he's the only guy that we need. I don't even think Eli Ricks, is a guy that's going to be a backup. I don't think he'll ever start. So. Yeah, Warriors Rage just said it. Dude, everyone likes Ringo. They just don't think he is ready. Exactly. It's not that he's not ready this year. It's that I just need to see more. He needs another offseason program under his belt. So that's where I kind of am right now. Yes, Clark says Ringo needs snaps. Yes, 100%. You don't get and Pat says nope, no opportunities. Of course, you don't have the opportunities, bro. Like, what do you expect the Eagles are just gonna start him next year? No, of course not. Definitely not. So I get it. Ron says, Joey, would you consider Joey Bosa? He's been released, so we don't have to give up assets for him. He's coming off of a Pro Bowl season. He had some injury history, so we need to break bank for him. No. Joey signed Harold Landry. Harold Landry's a free agent right now. Bosa has only had 2 healthy seasons. Sorry. Yes, he's only had 2 healthy seasons. That's it. He's a walking Band-Aid. He's like my last go-to. Okay? Go after Harold Landry at 20. He only missed 1 season, in 22? He missed 1 season? You know what I mean? So I think Harold Landry, he plays great off ball. He's a great pass rusher. I think he'd be fantastic. Fantastic. And you don't have to trade picks for him. You know what I mean? So obviously Joey Bosa, you don't have to trade picks because he's a free agent now. So I think there's a lot of guys available for the Eagles to go get. Edge rusher. I mean, defensive line, pass rusher wise, this is the perfect market right now. Right now. So we'll see. Mark says, what do they say? 3 strikes, you're out. Sorry, Slay, nothing personal. Yeah, I don't feel good, dude. I don't feel good about this is a dude trying to get resigned, and it's already going to be expensive. Whatever, it's a steep price for Slay. That's what's been talked about this entire time. It's been a steep price, but I don't fucking like him throwing his team under the bus or not. Like, you just won a championship, and it's like Hurts isn't even met. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, and then you say these quarterbacks are in a eliteness of their own, and none of these teams made it to the Super Bowl, bro. Like, this is the shit I don't get. Besides Patrick Mahomes, it's just ridiculous, dude. Like, why is everyone so so concentrated on these regular season fucking stats from these quarterbacks that these players praise. They're top quarterbacks, and half of these guys can't even make it through the first round of the fucking playoffs, man. So I think I've like reached my limit with him already. I think I've reached my limit. Like it's like that. It's unfortunate because that's how he has to go out with a bang like that. He has to go out. He has to leave Philadelphia on top of this fucking news. You know what I mean? Like, guy just doesn't know how to shut his mouth, and that's just what it is, man. He can have opinions, but unfortunately, dude, he's not some average fucking Joe Schmo working a 9-to-5 job, dude. Where like it won't be, it's gonna everything that he says is gonna go viral. It's gonna go viral automatically. So you gotta, you know what I mean? Eric says he has no self-awareness. I agree. I agree. Eagles Land Super Bowl says Joey Shakes. Michael Mayer is the tight end you're thinking about. You can't forget the name. Yeah, Michael Mayer. Yeah, I said Mayer or something like that. He's the guy from the Raiders that apparently is on the trade block. So tight end is going to be interesting. Mekhi Becton re-signing is going to be interesting. God, I mean, corner 2 now I think is a big hole now. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm not really sure what direction they're going to go, man. I saw the Commanders re-sign Bobby Wagner to like a $9-10 million deal today. Man, that team is just getting older. The team is getting older this year than they are getting fucking younger at this point. You got 2 30-year-old receivers. Now you got a 30-something-year-old fucking linebacker back another year. And he played pretty good, you know? For example, if you're another defensive player, tears a tricep, Fangio will be the serial tricep killer. Yeah, I don't think Graham's coming back, bro. I think he's gone. His body can't even hold up at this point. If his body can't even hold up at this point, I mean, you tore your tricep twice. You know what? I think part of that, and let's be real here, I think Graham forced himself back really early just to play in that game. I think he would be fine. I just think he didn't give himself enough time. So he practiced, he was okay, but obviously after that game, and he tore his tricep the second time in that game, like I think he just didn't give himself enough time. So I don't know if like his body can't hold on, but I don't know. We're gonna find out. A lot is gonna happen, bro. A lot is gonna happen with this team, bro. Telling you. They're going to save some money with this Goddard situation. They still haven't messed with Hurts' contract. We got him with the super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. He says, Slay just gave losers like Chase Daniels, Nick Wright, Sims, etc. so much ammo. I'm done with him. It's just a bad look. AJ starting to push it too. Yeah, and now he's fighting with now Chauncey Gardner-Johnson's getting involved. Like, bro, like what are you fucking doing? What are you doing, dude? I don't think it's a good look at all. I don't think he literally just he literally gave everybody ammo to literally write crazy articles the next few months. Literally. So it bothered the shit out of me, dude. I didn't make that video until late on that rant because I was like, nah, there's no way I'm not ruining my day talking about this shit. I waited till like late night to make that video. So like it ended my day. But I just think I don't see any other players do this shit. I don't see anybody do this shit. No one else does this shit at all. That's Slay's weakness. Now you start to wonder about Matt Patricia. Remember what Matt Patricia and Darius Slay and the bad relationship they had? He probably talked, who knows about that situation? Slay probably ran his mouth so fucking much about everything, It wouldn't shock me, bro. Wouldn't shock me. But I agree, dude. I agree with that super chat. I agree, him. I agree 100%. There's no doubt about it. Cyrus Singletary said, our team is trying to win a Super Bowl. We don't need cancer type player. It's not even like it's cancer type. It's just like, bro, like what? It wasn't even needed. Like, it wasn't even needed. If someone you just won a championship and you literally don't even put your quarterback as a top 5. Come on, man. Whether you're a free agent right now and you got released or not, you just won a championship. Okay? What did you do with the Detroit Lions for all those fucking years? Seriously, bro. It annoys the shit out of me. It fucking annoys me. Clark's, are we concerned about Nolan Smith tricep? No. I mean, he's going to take as much rest as possible, so I'm not really worried about it, no. Him says he went on Gilly's podcast and blamed Hurts for Quez Watkins being shit. There's clips on Instagram saying it was James' fault for not giving. Yeah, I mean, look, I get that whole aspect of, like, you know what I mean? I get AJ Brown's side of it because, bro, like, Quez Watkins should have never been thrown that fucking ball. Okay, you can't rely on Quez Watkins for those big moments, but it is true in some cases where you want to warm up a receiver just in case he needs to catch that big catch of the game. Like, they would never throw to Quez. They don't. They never throw to Quez. And to be thrown that one ball that is everything's on the line, I don't think that's fair at all. But, you know, the Eagles, you know, kind of swayed away from wide receiver 3s. But, you know, you see Jahan Dotson, what he could do, you know, and he played really well. You know what I mean? You could depend on Jahan Dotson. He's a first-round pick, dude. He's got the talent. The talent's there. I didn't know if the talent was there all year. I was like, you know, was Dan Quinn right about Jahan Dotson? Was he just like, you know, Dan Quinn was calling him entitled during training camp and he expected the job and he wasn't even in the I think Dan Quinn just had like a, you know, maybe Jahan Dotson had some pushback towards Dan Quinn when he was in training camp with Washington, and maybe they just didn't like each other and decided to trade him, and he spewed out all this bullshit about him. I don't know. You know what I mean? We got OG GK Goku. I can't say that. OG Kush Goku. Sorry. Member for 23 bucks. The Super Bowl 59 champions. All the haters could suck it. Yeah, it's awesome, dude. It's awesome. If you guys haven't become a member either, make sure you become a member. I'm putting up another some draft highlight reaction videos. So definitely check that out for extra draft content. Become a member for like any tier. It could be $2 a month, whatever. Become a member, and there's obviously double the content already up right now for all the draft, more draft. There's gonna be regular draft stuff, and there's like video draft stuff that gets you know, claimed and stuff. So I put that towards the membership videos and stuff. Yeah, Quez Watkins, yes, that's what we're talking about. All right, him says, anyways, I'm out. Have a good night. All right, him, have a good night, dude. So Slay is a cancer to the locker room. He must go now. I mean, right now, gone. Well, he's gone. He's released. I mean, apparently he's, you know, they're working on getting his number lower, you know. Apparently, you know, Nina, why'd you delete his thing for? Why was that? Yeah. So I mean, you know, we're coming to they're apparently going to re-sign him. I mean, after all this, I don't even know if it's even in the cards at this point. He's going to have interest from other teams most likely. So, you know, that's where we're kind of at. Yo, Shane O'Mac, thank you so much for joining the camper tier, my friend. Thank you so much for supporting and all that great stuff. You'll see some of the extra videos that are up right now. So we just started everything. So Shane O'Mac, thank you so much. Fucking allergies, sorry. I'm gonna be rubbing my nose because my allergies are just all over the place right now. Nate says Slay, not a cancer. He's a captain, but he's not the best pod. I mean, I wouldn't say he's like cancer. Trust me, we've seen what cancer is. He's just not a fucking smart guy. He's just not smart at all. Like, would you not take Slay back? Probably not, Steven. Probably not. I don't even care, to be honest. If he came back, fine. But realistically, like, after all that, I kind of was like, you know what? Let's just get younger. Just bring Isaiah Rodgers back and maybe I don't know. I don't know what the plan's going to be. I didn't once March 13th hits, even the next few days hit the first week of free agency. They need pass rushers. You know, they need to figure out what they're doing at tight end. Are they going to re-sign Mekhi Becton or put a lot? You know, I think they'll re-sign Mekhi and actually draft an offensive lineman in the mid rounds, maybe earlier than that. We'll see. You know, hey, Shane O'Mac says, yes, sir. Been following you forever. Hey, I appreciate it so much, man. You know I appreciate you, man. You know I appreciate you. Ron said, we don't need to break bank for Bosa. I just think it's funny how some athletes have a problem with staying healthy, but once they come to Philly, they have the best season. The problem I have with Joey Bosa is dude, there's just things that turn me off about players. When Joey Bosa showed up for the 2022 NFC Championship game against his brother that played for the 49ers, he got so triggered by Eagle fans outside the parking lot. Like, I can't imagine him having a subpar game. I can't imagine him having a subpar game, him getting criticism and how he would fucking react to it. You know what I mean? I'm not saying like I wouldn't sign him, but I think he would be like my last resort. If like everybody's too expensive for trade, Harold Landry's a good player. Harold Landry literally didn't play he didn't play in the 22 season. I think that's the only I think he had an ACL in 22. I didn't like Joey Bosa after that. Like after that, one of my best friends is a Chargers fan. One of my best buddies is a Chargers fan in person. I worked with him at my old job. And, Joey Bosa is, has got some like attitude problem. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, he seems really defensive when you get on his case, Nina says, sorry, that was a mistake. My hand. No, you're good. I was just wondering. That's all. That's why I thought it was weird that you deleted it. So, I appreciate you coming in the chat, Nina. I appreciate it so much. So much. Blake Hart, what's going on, man? Isaiah says, is Becton worth a 3-year deal? Yes. He's 24, 25 years old. How old is Mekhi Becton? Yes. 1,000,000% he is. Yes. A lot of guys that are his size at 6'6", what is he, like 6'6"? 360, 370. I mean, to play guard, that's oversized for guard. Oh, yeah, dude. Mekhi Becton's not 28, 29, 30. He's 25, 26, bro. Yeah. Yeah. That's the greatest thing about it. He's got youth to him. Very young. I put Slay in the same category as McNabb. It's almost hard not to say that. Shane says, still got to join 500. Just keep forgetting until now. Join your. I appreciate Shane. It means a lot, man. For both of us, it means a lot. Derek says, hell no. Slay needs to stay gone. We'll see Slay in the NFC Championship game, and Chauncey can put BTA and have that last laugh. And I kind of stand up for Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. You know what I mean? He was kind of like challenging Slay's leadership. Like what happened in 23 when like I said, with the 49ers, they went into our pregame warm up and were pushing James Bradbury around. Like, did Slay go up to players and keep them accountable? No, he didn't. He rode the fucking wave like everybody else did. You had Kevin Byard at safety. That's what the last person that replaced me apparently, got you kicked out of a wild card game. Meaning, and because Slay couldn't even think about another leader on this, unless he's just so fucking stupid. Unless he's just, who can replace you? He's like Reed Blankenship. Like, what? Bro, like, Reed Blankenship is not the first name you could think of as who's gonna take over as the leader of the secondary. Like, come on. He thinks like you have to be an old vet to be a leader on this team. It's like, no, bro. Like, you don't. You don't. Slay did a lot of shit, dude. he defended, like, when Seth Joyner called him out on his tackling, dude, all he did was fucking sit there and was like, oh, he's like, I don't tackle like that anymore. I'm too old. And yeah, but yeah, when the Ravens were going to give you when the Ravens were going to sign you and you came back to Philly and you asked for extra money, oh, the Eagles get you those extra few $1,000,000. Oh, you'll come back. You'll come back for that. You'll come back for that, no problem. That's what pissed me the fuck off about that. When he almost left for Baltimore, that's what fucking annoyed me. And the Eagles gave him more money and he came right back. You know? I think he's like a great personality for the locker room. Like I feel like he's perfect for the locker room. But then he does this shit like off the field, like, you know. He's like, oh, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. I'm just saying, like, they're at their own. I'm not saying Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is my quarterback, but they have their own eliteness to them. And like, it's like you sound like a fucking dumbass. Sorry, you sound like a fucking dumbass. You know what I mean? And then he said that Odell Beckham was better than Devontae. So I swear to God, it's like, bro, he wouldn't stop. He wouldn't stop, dude. he dug the hole deeper and deeper and deeper. Like he just didn't fucking stop. Man, if I was kidnapped, he would be the last guy. If I was kidnapped and there was a ransom note for, I would never let that man. No. He's the last guy that wants to put you get you out of a bad situation. That's what I'm trying to say. So I don't know. I'm kind of just like I'm just like I'm kind of done with it now. I'm just like I don't even want him back for a repeat or whatnot. I don't even want him back. He even said he would go to the Washington if the money was right. Yeah, I know. I saw that clip too. He's like, yeah, where is it? I was like, I put a tweet out. I was like, yeah, I think I'm done. I'm done now.
5 years, Super Bowl champ.
All right, buddy. I mean, you can come win one with the Commanders. I'm just.
Hey, now you know the price is right now. I don't mind. If the price is right.
You heard it.
Just go. Just get out of here and go. At this point, just go. Like, man, he's just so out there. He's just so out there, bro. Like, the money's right. The money's right. Like, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing? Philly thinks that anyone who says Jalen Hurts isn't a top 5 clear don't know anything about football. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, how are you always picking these other same regular names that aren't in the playoffs consistently, haven't even been in the Super Bowl consistently, or even played in the Super Bowl, period? Like, I don't get it, man. Lamar hasn't reached the Super Bowl. Josh Allen can't win on the road in the playoffs. He's got, like, and they're giving him defense in free agency right now. Like that's not even the problem. Like, Josh Allen can't even beat the Chiefs, and he can't even win on the road. Joe Burrow's got a shitty front office, really crappy organization around him that doesn't know how to get their shit together. You made that Super Bowl, couldn't even get to the playoffs. You haven't been to the playoffs again since then. I don't think they have. And yet, they have an eliteness of their own for the regular season statistics, I guess. You know what I mean? So that's where we're at. Sarah says, don't bring him back. I don't want our young players piling up in his bad habits. To be honest with you, I don't think anybody follows what he does. So Sarah says, don't bring, Pirate McClunkley says, Slay is about himself rather than the team. Remember in 23, he tweeted his personal accolades. Oh, yes. That was another thing he did. He put up his statistics, he put up his accolades for his whole career after a bad game. If the Eagles have a bad game, he says how great he is and he throws everybody under the bus. All the time. Always did that. Jason says never should have gotten this much attention. But he knows it's going to. Even Micah Parsons retweeted the video of him, the clip I just played of him signing to the Commanders for a certain price if the money is right. Micah Parsons literally retweeted that and said, "All Eagle fans are going to love this." He even knows. Like, he's got common sense. And to be honest, in my opinion, Micah Parsons is fucking worse than Slay. Micah Parsons, like, that's why, like, I don't even, like, I have no interest in Micah Parsons, ever. Like, that's Slay 2.0, but worse, okay? Worse. Younger and worse. Couldn't remember Lamar's name. Blake said, Joey, do you see us making a trade for a younger corner if we can't sign Zay Rodgers? I think JC Horn and Q would go good together. I don't know I haven't really followed JC Horn too much. You mean Isaiah Rodgers? I wonder where Rodgers is going to go. And he didn't play that much this year. Like, I can't see him he's going to try to get, that Super Bowl. He's going to work that thing up to get some more value and more money. I don't know. He hasn't played that much. I mean, Rodgers didn't play that much this year. I can't see him getting some big, I could see maybe, Oren Burks. Like, I mean, trust me, like, I would love to bring Oren Burks back. 100%. They got to sign another linebacker. It's got to happen. So, even if you start Trot with Bond, if that's even going to be the case, Ben Van Sermon's coming off a knee injury, and there's no Nakobe Dean until fucking October, November. And he's probably going to be out until the playoffs. He comes back October, November. He's going to need like 4 weeks to another month. That patellar tendon injury is a very serious injury. Gustavo Meza with the super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. He says, this whole situation is ridiculous. We just won a Super Bowl and still have drama. But CJ has a point. Where was that leader versus the Niners in 23? That's what I'm saying. The only time the Eagles fought back in that fucking game was when Big Dom had that bullshit on the sideline, where it felt like they had a little bit of fight back over a fucking guy that's not even a coach for this team. A fucking security guard. At the time. I mean, he still is, but he's like an assistant. They have him as another thing now, so he can't get kicked off the field anymore. But we'll see, man. Dude, come on. Parsons' ball would be nasty. Probably. I mean, look, I don't question Micah Parsons and his play. I question him on his off the field shit. And he does shit on the field, like leaving the game fucking early. You see what he did what game was that when he left the game? They lost the game and he walked in the tunnel early. I mean, who does that shit? Come on. No one. Come on now. You guys don't be blind over that shit. Don't be blind over that. Cameron says Raiders signed Geno Smith. There's talks about them getting Metcalf. Well, no, originally they were supposed to get Geno and Metcalf. It was Geno and Metcalf for Max Crosby. That was the original trade. It never went through. So I don't think they're getting DK. I think the Raiders got fucking fleeced in that. I mean, you literally traded a 3rd round pick for a 34-year-old fucking quarterback. That team isn't going nowhere. They got fleeced, bro. 34-year-old quarterback trade for a 3rd round pick. Who the fuck does that? Who does that? I don't know. That's just that Chip Kelly fucking and that ex-Seattle coach. That won't even last over a season. That'll be a 1 year and done type deal with that shit that they're doing over there. Let's see. Cameron says we need to trade up for Pierce Jr. if he falls to number 24. Yeah, that'd be nice. If he could fall that far, I'd be shocked. You know, and if it happens, then great. Someone's gonna fall. Somebody's gonna fall. And even if they say, hey, they want to move Cooper DeJean to the outside, which I really don't want them to do that. Okay, they could sign like a Malachi Moore from Alabama and draft him on day 2 as a hybrid. He could be the future safety after Reed leaves after this year and play inside corner. They need inside corner depth 100%. They need the depth at that position bad. So. And if DeJean moves, then they're really going to need more pieces to that position. Terrence says we're the sick of them drama. Getting Parsons here would be unbearable. I like, yeah, it would be great, but it would just be like, man, like he just doesn't know how to handle media. He doesn't know how to handle himself. Things that he shouldn't be saying. Ray Hines said, I hope Slay is still on the market when the season starts. This dude needs to address the dandruff in his hair before dissing Hurts. There's already like 212 votes. Was Slay out of line? And there's already 80% that say he's out of line. 20 say no. So that's where we're at as a community right now. I don't say these things. I don't go on a live stream like this and talk about Slay or talk about something that has to do with the Eagles drama and be like, I want everybody to agree with me. Like nobody has to agree with me. I'm here to give my opinion and I listen to everyone else's opinion here. I respect everybody's. This is an open opinion zone. This isn't fucking, I'm right, you better listen to me. I'm not like that. Dre Diesel with the super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. Very nice of you. He says the cool thing that we are the Super Bowl champs, and players are going to want to come here if they want to win. So I wouldn't be surprised that a good player might take a pay cut to come win a Super Bowl. Oh yeah, it wouldn't shock me either, bro. They see what this team is looking like right now, and yeah, this team is going to be a very attractive spot for when guys play well in Philadelphia. They get rewarded for it. In a good way, they get rewarded. Back in 17, when 2-3 years down the road from that 17 Super Bowl, they were re-signing everybody, restructuring everybody, kicking the can down the road. Bigger cap hits later. Couldn't draft. You don't draft. You keep restructuring old players. It finally caught up to us, but now it's way different now. You need turnover with your roster. Some guys have to leave. Milton Williams is going to get paid a lot of money. He's gone. You get a third round compensatory pick in 26. Josh Sweat is going to be gone. Okay, the markets for edge rusher and fucking DT are crazy right now. But obviously, the Eagles are in a position right now where they could pick up a Javon Hargrave at 31 for probably not much money because Javon already got his big contract. Okay, and his statistics weren't fantastic the last couple years. Or you can go get a Harold Landry that you don't need to trade for. Joey Bosa is out there, obviously not my finest, free agent pick, but he's out there. There's you could trade for the guy from the Jags. You could Trevon Walker. You could there's so much you could do. Hendrickson is now available through trade, and apparently that's only going to take a late second to a third round pick to trade for him. That sounds better. Did you hear the news about Myles Garrett today? He might be holding out. The Browns are not trading him. They are still standing tall right now saying we are not trading him. Apparently, Myles Garrett tried to call the owner to the Browns. The Browns owner doesn't even want to talk to him. And Andrew Berry, till this day, reports as of this morning is that they want to keep Garrett. Dude, if your player doesn't want to be there, why are you forcing it? And the last thing a 30-year-old player wants to do is hold out. And he said, and Myles Garrett, apparently there's rumors that he might miss some games this season if they can't get a trade done. You know what I mean? So the Myles Garrett thing is really ugly right now. Maybe like at some point of this offseason, they're going to break or they're going to still stand their ground. And, if at 30 years old, you're missing games, I don't know. I know somebody just said, maybe the Eagles can get Hassan Reddick again. Yeah, maybe, but I don't think that's the Eagles' fault, or I don't blame Hassan Reddick trying to get more money. He got traded to a cursed franchise that didn't have the pen and paper ready when he got there. He went into the complex of the Jets. He had all these interviews and had his press conference. And you didn't sign a contract when you were there. Come on, man, that's ridiculous. He held out training camp. He held out some games. He came back for 8 games. He has like what, a sack and a half, 2 sacks. I mean, I don't know. It was less than 2 sacks, 2 or less sacks. No, Cameron, we don't know if Trevon Walker is available at all, but he's on the last. They just paid another edge rusher in Jacksonville. They just paid another edge rusher in Jacksonville to a lot of money. Trevon Walker's on the last year of his deal. So Howie likes to trade for players on the last year of their deals on their rookie contracts. So potentially Trevon Walker, if they gave a phone call, like, would he be available? There's been no news on Trevon Walker even being available, but we've talked about this for a while now, that potentially he could be available coming. So we'll see what happens. Any word on the Jalen Mills troll? No. Fucking weirdos. There was a guy in the chat yesterday that wanted to sign Jalen Mills as like a depth safety, or I don't know. Then there was another guy. I just spilled soda all over my desk. And then there was another guy that I forgot. There was another guy. Oh yeah, Avonte Maddox. Somebody like wanted Avonte Maddox re-signed. Like he's gonna be a big loss for the team or some shit like that. I don't fucking know. Like, what the fuck are these people thinking, bro? What are these guys thinking? Because I want to smoke what they're smoking. Well, we got 277 in the chat right now. Make sure you. Oh, let me get rid of this. Yeah, sorry. I keep forgetting that's all that shit's showing. We got 277 in the chat. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the stream, guys. Appreciate so much everybody for being here today. If you guys haven't, because I want to, if you guys have not, I want to kind of let you guys know what's going on. If you guys haven't checked out the Philly Shakedown podcast merch, definitely go check it out. We're going to have some new stuff real soon. We already have some things in the works right now on a few things. We have the Jalen Hurts champion shirt. A lot of people have ordered this shirt. It's a pure high-sprung polyester shirt. Everybody absolutely loves it. And the Jalen Hurts, the main thing t-shirt, the iconic photo in the hallway. All in different colors, all the merch except the champion shirt, because this is a limited edition shirt, by the way. We're not going to have this in for too long, but since it's selling, we're going to keep it out a little bit longer because people are ordering and stuff like that. So if you like all that, definitely go check it out. Link is in the description for that, and I'll put the link in the live chat as well. Check it out. Some cool stuff. Some cool stuff. A lot of people have ordered so far, so appreciate all those people have been ordering like crazy. So I thank you so much for that. Appreciate where you hide. Appreciate, man. Appreciate, bro. We got more stuff coming out. More stuff coming out soon. Jaden J2100, that man, he says, Slay said Odell over Smitty. He would be a commander at a price and didn't give Jalen his flowers after the Super Bowl. I don't know what's wrong with him. I don't either, bro. I don't know either, Dre Diesel says Hendrickson will cost us a first-round pick. I know the guy is a long on the tooth, but his production is crazy. I don't think it's going to cost that, bro. There's been insider news, and this was added towards an account, and I think that was towards one of the beat writers of Cincinnati, saying that he's hearing that the cost isn't going to cost. It's not going to cost the Eagles a first-round pick for Trey Hendrickson. Someone said a second to a third, a late second to an early third. That's all it's going to cost. It's probably going to cost a couple picks, but I don't think a first-round pick is going to be included in that. No. I think Trey Hendrickson is something that they have to really – I think that's something that they should definitely like a two-year make it realistically make it a 3-year deal. Third year is avoided year, and just do a 2-year deal. This will be a very attractive team to join. It will. You know. Rand says, hope God Akers announces our first round pick. Ron says, even though we locked up Bond, I like the idea of taking Jalen Walker because he's a hybrid player, off ball and on the edge, can move him around, helps us in case Dean walks when his contract is up. No, I mean, I'd get him or Jihad Campbell at 32. Jalen Walker, I really do like, not because he's a Georgia guy, but realistically, yeah, he is that hybrid guy that could play on the line and he could play linebacker as well. So I think he's a nice piece for Fangio that could do, if you have injuries, God forbid, you know what I mean? You could always move him around if you really have to. I think they have to double dip at edge rusher this year. I do. I think they have to go sign one, and I think they have to go, I think they sign an edge rusher, and I think they draft another one this year. You're going to be losing Sweat. You're going to be probably losing Graham if they don't get him back. I mean, realistically, I think they need 2 players at edge. I think they do. But I mean, realistically, you have Bond and you have Trot. That's really it. Ben Van Sermon will never start at linebacker. They want to put him as a fullback for another year. So I think this is like the perfect offseason. This is the perfect market for the Eagles right now. There's pass rushers galore. You could trade for one. You could sign one in free agency. I think this is perfect for us right now. Take Myles Garrett out of it. There's a lot of players available. Trey is 30 years old, unfortunately, so he is old, but you're going to be giving up a lot less in a trade with him than what you would give up for Myles Garrett. So Cameron says, Mykel Williams, my dream pick, but I don't think it's going to happen. Mykel Williams could be there. He could be there. I don't see why not. Mykel is another player, edge rusher from Georgia. He can move around the line. You can have him as a 4-eye. You can have him in a wide 9 technique. I mean, he's another guy that can move. He can move around the defensive line like crazy. So, I like Mykel Williams a lot. Even Stewart, I like him from Ohio State. I think he's going to be a hell of a player. I think someone's going to land, guys. I mean, somebody's going to land. Someone's going to be there. Trotter had 11 tackles in week 18. Yeah. All right, UC. I'll see you later, man. No problem, man. Davis says, need a pass rusher, linebacker, and a true defensive end. Yeah, I mean, realistically, I think they need to hit on an edge rusher in free agency. I think they need to draft one in the draft in the first round. And I would try to find a rotational mid-tier contract to fill in for Milt. Honestly, I think that's what I would do, to be honest with you. Like, even if Javon Hargrave signed like a 2-year fucking deal with, at 31. I mean, I don't know. I mean, somebody just to be in that rotation behind Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, and then that second rotation, obviously, you're going to have Moro Ojomo. I think is going to become a very good player for us as a 7th round pick. Moro Ojomo gets, this is his best year so far. This last year he just played. Pair him up with somebody nice like that. I think we're in a good position right now to do whatever we want. Oh yeah, I forgot where you hide. I forgot you're a Ohio State fan. Linda, what's going on? Linda Conyer says, you think Ojomo ready for Milton Williams spot? I was watching tape, very high IQ, draft another DT in the second. Yeah, they might. Look, there's 2 things. They either go in free agency for a mid-tier type contract, like a really good rotational guy, or a starter that becomes a rotational guy with the Eagles and promise, hey, like, you're coming to the Eagles, you have a rotation, that's where you're going to be. Or, they go defensive end and DT the first 2 picks. But you got to remember, too, because we need to see if we got to see this cornerback position. We got to see if Mekhi Becton gets signed. They have interest in a lot of guys between rounds 2 to 4 when it comes to offensive linemen. So I don't think they're getting offensive line the first round. That Anthony Belton kid they really do like from NC State. That's a tackle that could play guard. They're going to move him around a little bit. So there is interest there, but you got to watch tight end and offensive line. Like, they have to. I feel like they're going to have to draft those in this draft. Like, I understand, like, we want defense totally, but I think they can get a lot done, dude. I think there's going to be players out there that want to come here for a little bit less to go win a championship. I think the market's great right now for rotational DTs, players that are released off teams that could just fill in as a rotational piece. I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing at all. You know, kind of like a guy that picks up Jonathan Allen, or a guy that picks up a team that picks up Jonathan Allen, or a team that picks up Javon Hargrave in a rotation, or little moves like that, you know, little moves like that. Jared Allen and DT rotation. Oh, whatever. I mean, like I'm saying, they need 2 edge rushers anyway, so it doesn't matter if it's DT or edge rusher, whatever it is. You know what I mean? I'm just spitting names out there, guys that are available, just defensive linemen that are available. You know? Terrence said, would Cam Jurgens extension free some cap space? I thought I saw a post saying that, but I'm not sure. It depends how they do the contract, but I mean that's another extension that we're gonna have to look out for. Either they're gonna do it now, or they're gonna do it during training camp, or they're gonna wait till the middle of the season. And it seems like Howie Roseman doesn't like to give extensions during the season anymore. By the way, last year went, and he gave us a reason why he doesn't give extensions, because he feels like if one guy gets an extension during the year and your team is very focused on winning a Super Bowl, another guy's going to say, hey, where's my extension? You know, it's going to cause a lot of I think this is the reason why he doesn't give extensions during the year. Unless you're a losing team, you know, you're out of the playoffs and shit like that, then obviously you'll sign someone. Jonathan Allen is a free agent that he got released. The Washington Commanders just released him today. Now remember, he came off of an injury. He had a pectoral injury. He missed a lot of time. And then he came back, obviously, in time for the playoffs and stuff. Nate says it helps to have Vic's eagle eyes on untapped potential, like Bond, excited, not scared like previous years. I agree. When it comes to this defense, I feel pretty good, man. Like Zach Bond, bro, to hear the actual news that Zach Bond was like the #1 priority in Philadelphia was probably the best feeling. Because I felt like he was the #1 priority. Like, how can you not? Like, I understand, like, it sucks that Bond's not like 26, 25 years old. But honestly, like, you know, linebackers could play for a long time. Levante David just got another contract extension. How old is Levante David? Like, fucking with Tampa Bay, like 35? I mean, Levante David is still a very, very, very good player for Todd Bowles. Very good player. I'm telling you, like, there's just guys that have it and there's guys that don't, you know? So realistically, this 3-year deal for Zach Bond is technically a 2-year deal for 30-something million guaranteed. Pat says Lane will likely restructure. Yeah, I think the restructure for Lane is like, I think they save about $3 million. It's like 2.9 and change, something like that, for a Lane Johnson restructure. Ray Hines says, who do you see who currently on the roster that will be the next to take a pay cut? Jalen Hurts. Oh, a pay cut or like I don't know if anyone's going to take a pay cut. I mean, look, if you're talking about a restructure is technically not a pay cut. They're just giving them more guaranteed money up front and then kind of lessening the dead cap hits to save money. So I don't know if anyone's taking a legit pay cut, but I think a restructure. I think Dallas Goedert will have a restructure. It wouldn't shock me if they try to do something with Jalen Hurts' contract. Remember what I said? I said, yo, they're going to do something with Saquon's contract, something. They got to do something with that contract to save some money. And they did, but I didn't think they were going to give him an extra 2 years for $40-something million or $20 million a year back. You wouldn't think the Eagles would ever fucking do shit like that. You know, $12.5 million, sure. You know, $20 million a year, running back. It's insane, man. We're changing our philosophy on how we do things. 2 things that they never do. Number one, they signed a running back to $12 million, and then they extended a running back to making him a $20 million a year back. When have the Eagles done that? And then signing a linebacker to top 5 linebacker money? I'm telling you. I am telling you, that is crazy. The Garrett news, Kirk says, any more rumors on getting Garrett? Yeah, the Garrett news, I think he's going to hold out. I don't think the Browns are, from what the report said this morning, the Browns like do not want to get rid of him. Like they don't want to move him. Like they're literally forcing him to stay. You know what I mean? I'm kind of off the boat. I've been off the boat like the past like 5 days, to be honest. It's just getting worse and worse and worse. And, you know, if you have a player that doesn't like when Hassan Reddick was literally telling the Eagles, "Hey, I'm going to hold out," they wasted no time and traded him. Like they weren't going to deal with that. They ripped the Band-Aid off. They said, "You know what? Let's lose Hassan Reddick." They made the panic move with Bryce Huff. They have to get rid of that fucking contract. That's like the number one thing that you want to get rid of that contract, man. Telling you. Be great. No, you're good where you're hiding. I figured you meant a restructure, not a pay cut. I don't think anyone's losing money, but Linda Conyer says that Oren Burke contract is kind of important. Resign, don't you think? Dean not due back. Yeah, I mean, like I said, you're only gonna have Trotter and fucking Zach Bond. That's it. There's nothing behind it. You have to sign another linebacker, or you got to draft one in the first round. Or if one slips into the second, you got to draft him in the second. I don't know. But you got to get somebody in the building. Oren Burks, like, if he wants to run this shit again, and let me tell you, Oren Burks, he took over for Dean in that Packers game when he had the injury, and he did wow. I mean, Fangio originally was going to have Dean and Trotter and Oren Burks kind of compete in a playoff game to see who. I mean, once Oren Burks showed up, I mean, that was it. There was no point of putting, why change up what you're doing, switching guys in and out. It's already working. I don't know what his contract projection is supposed to be. I kind of want to see what his contract progression. I want to see what his trajectory is. Let's see. Let's do Oren Burks contract projection 2025. I'm not sure. It's not really telling me. I guess there wasn't a projected thing out yet for him. Bosa would be cheap, probably. Do I have the utmost fucking interest in Joey Bosa? Not really. I'm not even really on that train, to be honest with you. Jade says, Joey, who's the last player you remember us holding against their will? I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm not sure if we've done that as of recent years. So Robert Jones, I think Dotson this coming season is going to surprise us. And he will finally be our number 3 receiver moving forward. Well, I don't think he's got to surprise us. I think we already know how much talent he has. I think the Eagles won that trade by a landslide. But we were just, he got traded like last minute before the season started. Like it's hard to like be involved in an offense when you haven't been there all off season. You know what I mean? So I feel really good about Jahan Dotson. Like that Super Bowl, bro, like he caught those balls like he wasn't even fucking. The attitude of this team this past season was just, they were so fucking, they were laser focused. And like for a guy that doesn't get a lot of targets and doesn't complain and where he can complain, let me tell you something, bro. Like that 27-yarder up the right sideline that got us in, inside the 5, and even that catch and run he had on the left sideline as well. I mean, he's a big part of this Super Bowl. He's a big part of this season. Just remember, this is Jahan Dotson. Like, you don't have Jahan Dotson. You have a shitty receiver at that wide receiver 3 spot. They're doubling AJ. They're doubling Devontae Smith. And half the time, this is what happens. You put Jahan Dotson on the outside, you could literally put Devontae Smith or AJ Brown on the inside. You can move your receivers around. Jahan Dotson needs to be highly respected by defenses because you just saw what he did in that Super Bowl. They don't do it a lot, but before we got into the playoffs, I said, this is the perfect moment to use Jahan Dotson in these fucking playoff games. There's no tape on him. The Eagles have ran almost nothing with him all year. they took advantage of that situation. And let me tell you, man, like, it worked. Having Dotson is a first-round pick. He is a first-round talent playing wide receiver 3 with no pressure on him. And when his number is called, he fucking answers the call. And that's what he did in that Super Bowl. That's what he did in the fucking Green Bay game when Hurts was holding the ball for a long time. Great protection, waiting for someone to get open. Jahan Dotson on the scramble drill got fucking open in the end zone, bro. Like, Jahan Dotson is highly valuable. Just like how, you know, Kansas City sold out to against Saquon Barkley, and it opened the passing game tremendously. You beat Spags' blitz, bro. You're winning that whole fucking game, and they did. You know, it's just it's crazy. Ryan's last player that held against our will was probably, I don't even remember J-Jaw holding out. I don't even remember that. Kirk said we needed an edge rusher, whether it be draft or I think they're going to do both. I mean, realistically, they need 2 guys. I think realistically, they need 2 guys. I think they need 1 DT and they need 2 edge rushers. That's where I'm at right now. I think you should double dip at edge. I really do. Jaden J 2100 says Jalen could have the same amount of Super Bowl as Mahomes right now if Gannon wasn't a snake. Yeah, maybe. Kind of sold out right after the NFC Championship game. The Washington fans are still saying they won the Dotson trade. Are you kidding me? How? I mean, they already have receivers that can't even hold on to the fucking ball. I mean, you know, every time they play the Eagles, they're turning the ball over 5 times a fucking game. I mean, they took that 3rd-round pick from Jahan Dotson for that trade, and they went out and got that fucking idiot from the Saints. And he is horrible. It's horrible. What's his name? I always forget his damn name. Ron says, I'm going to keep it Joey. Being from Ohio, I'm a diehard Ohio State fan. The Bosa brothers are Ohio royalty. Bosa does have an attitude problem. I agree. He's just a beast player. So, no, it's fine. I got no issue with that, dude. I got no issue with that. You like your college team, bro? You love the players from there? I get it, dude. I get it. Hector says, what if Jalix is ready to start in year 2 like Nolan? I mean, I think he needs another offseason, but I mean, I think he's a gem just waiting to explode right now. I think Jalix Hunt is going to be on a. They didn't start him early in the year, unfortunately. You know, they started him late in the season, and then he kind of went through his offseason program, his preseason games, like the last few games, and then he got to his regular season. You know, Paul Wilson says my shirts are coming tomorrow. Hey, dude, I hope you enjoy, man. I hope you enjoy. We worked really hard on those. So send a picture, email us a picture, anything, you know, once you get them, see what they look like. Lattimore is not a bad corner. Like even the Detroit game in the playoffs, like Lattimore was barely even targeted in that game. I'm like, dude, like Lattimore is like, he's not that great. He's not that great. But they took that 3rd-round pick and traded that 3rd-round pick for Lattimore. That's what they did. You know? Jacob Bloss says Pierce Jr. is my go-to first round. It might be mine as well, bro. If it's not Abdul Carter, I think Abdul's going to go to the Titans because if they're not re-signing if they let Harold Landry go, I think they're letting Harold Landry go at 28 years old. They're trying to get turnover at that spot. I think he's going to Tennessee, which is a shame. Fangio picked Hunt. Yeah, that was a Fangio player. Yes, 100%. Handpicked. Terrence says, what are your thoughts on James Pierce Jr. for Tennessee? I saw a post that said he had personal issues. It was a locker room cancer at Tennessee. Don't know how. Well, I don't think he was a locker room cancer. He had a fucking traffic stop violation. He got stopped by a cop going like 65 and a 35. It was like stupid. And he had a fight with the cop. Like that was his off. Mike Green from Marshall, that's a whole different story. Mike Green from Marshall is one of the top edge rushers in this draft, and he's a totally different story. That guy apparently he had a sexual assault. He had sexual assault. He got blamed for sexual assault in high school. Then he went to Virginia and got a sexual assault case again, and then he transferred to fucking Marshall. So Howie Roseman at the Combine was talking about players with background and, he says when it comes to abuse of women or things like that, it's a no-go. It's a no-go. He literally said it. He was like, some cases we look into it, and then there's some cases where, like, when it's, like, overboard, like, you can't come back from that shit. Like, it really hurts your stock. So that's serious. Like, for me, that's serious. You know what I mean? I know people are going to complain about the Jalen Carter thing. I know all the facts to that case. And Jalen Carter did a stupid thing that night. If people know the actual truth to it. Because I hate when people, like, think they know about it and they don't even read everything on it. And they just say, So, 2 sexual assault cases, that's not great. No. Mike Green, I'm kind of out on that one. Brand picks it. Joey, look at Ahmed Hassanin from Boise State, edge rusher. Ahmed Hassanin. I have no idea who that is. Couldn't tell you, unless you're trolling me right now. Jacob says, be glad we got Dotson. Remember, Watkins dropped that. Yeah, no, trust me. I get it. I completely get it. Olamide Zaccheaus, I think, would have been really good for us as a number 3, but unfortunately, they never gave him an opportunity. Quez was either not healthy or, they would rely on him for those big moments. Dotson is a burner. We've seen him for years. We've seen him destroy us at our secondary. We've seen it. Jahan Dotson is a talent, dude, that somehow Dan Quinn just didn't fucking like. I don't know. Pat says, I'm not sweating a traffic stop and an altercation. No, a traffic stop, it's a cop against a player, okay? And honestly, there's always 2 sides to the story. And you know how it is, guys. Like, it's a cop against an African-American, so not to put political shit into it, but you know the way it's going to go. It's gonna make him look bad, I don't even know the whole story to it. I couldn't even find anything on that story. So who knows what was said by the cop, what was said by him? You know what I mean? So I'm not trolling. He's a good edge rusher. 12.5 sacks. Oh, damn. Okay. I can't tell these days, bro, because people just say stuff. You know what I mean? Tavon says, I'm guessing Slay has a lot to say about the Eagles now and is not on the team anymore. Well, he's technically released now, and honestly, he could stay released. He can stay released. I don't care. Yeah, I'll check him out. I'll check Ahmed out. I'll check him out. Dan Quinn is a clown. Yeah, I don't like him either. I was wondering why, like, they traded for Jahan Dotson. He was like, Dan Quinn was talking how there was all these reports coming from training camp that Jahan Dotson, like, he was entitled for that number 1, number 2 receiver spot, and he wasn't even like in the cards for the number 2 spot, not even the number 3 spot. Greg said, I like the defensive tackle from Ole Miss, Walter Nolan. That's another guy I like too. Didn't he have like a big neck injury? I know Jared Verse was like the same story. He came in like Jared Verse had like neck issues that he should have probably came back and played football, and he came back and played. Walter Nolan, I think, missed the 23 season, or I don't know, he missed time in 23 because of a neck issue, I guess. No, Slay's a free agent. There's no pay cut with Slay. He's a free agent now, so they literally can just leave him out there and do nothing. Cameron Holmes says, Joey, who's your number one guy this year's draft realistically? Abdul Carter. Non-quarterback. I mean, literally, Ashton Jeanty and probably fucking Ashton Jeanty and Abdul Carter are probably the two best in the draft. That running back is gonna be fucking good. It's hard to draft guys in the top. It's hard to draft a running back in the top 10, especially for a lot of teams. Bad teams that don't have really good rosters right now that bring a good running back like that. But that dude is on another level. That dude is like, yeah, he's the real deal. That's like a pick that someone's gonna regret not picking him. And I get it. Jacob says, there's a huge difference. Players draft stock drop for a gas mask or something stupid, and then you have serious things take advantage of the stupid things. It's true. Where he hides, Washington didn't use Jahan Dotson right. He's a slot, which isn't a bad thing, but still capable of being a decoy. Well, that's pretty much what he's been all year. But then, like, they took advantage of the situation, said, yo, like I didn't want Hurts to not throw his way if he was open, or like, you know, that Green Bay game, like he's sitting there in the pocket for like 6 seconds. It's like, dude, no one's open. If Jahan's open, bro, pass him the ball. He's going to catch it. And he did, you know, and then that Super Bowl, you know what I mean? I'm saying, like, he had that one catch we were wearing Kelly Green, that acrobatic catch that he made, you know, so. Oh, realistically draft for the Eagles, Joey? Well, you just said in general. I thought you just meant for the entire league. You meant for realistically draft for the Eagles? The number one guy? From the spot that they're in right now, where they could trade up maybe 10 spots the most, and that's probably the most they could do because it's going to be so expensive. I would say it's probably James Pierce Jr., man. I mean, realistically, it's like we're waiting for a guy to drop and for the Eagles to just jump on top of that. Just remember, the Eagles are going to have 3 third-round picks for 26, 2 fourth-rounders for 20. They have a lot of ammo for next year they could use. You know, if they want to add in a third-round pick for next year to kind of sweeten the deal, shit. You know, give a team a third-round pick for 26. That's pretty good, you know. Darius Alexander, DT Toledo, that's my guy. Played really well at the Senior Bowl and Combine. Was really supposed to be a third-round pick. However, is not projected to go late first. Damn, really? Yeah, I heard a lot of good things about him. The Eagles met up with him, too. Darius Alexander. That's going to be a good one. That's going to be a good one for the Eagles, too. We will see, man. We will see. Armino Collectibles says, I'm done with Slay, too. Pyron says, I like Landon Jackson. Might have to trade up from 64 to the late 40s. Landon Jackson. Steven Power says free agency really starts Monday. We will know a lot. Yeah, so I mean, moves, like obviously like even like the deal for Bond, it's not official yet. Like, yes, he's you know, he's signed, but nothing is really official until Monday at 4 p.m. So all of these moves can happen. It just comes down to like it's official at Monday. So just to let you guys know, we're going to be streaming. So the night before free agency, we're going to be streaming. And we're going to be streaming every day around lunchtime, early afternoon for an hour or two or whatever. We're going to be streaming for a while. That first week and a half, we're going to stream like crazy. That first like week, every day. Like we're just going to sit around, hang out, see what news is going on together, and just, just hang out. That's what we're going to do. So the night before free agency, we're going to be streaming. And then really every day after that, we're going to be streaming. So just let you guys know. 285 in the chat. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Like the stream, guys. Appreciate it so much. This stream is sponsored by BetUS, so definitely go check them out. If you guys have not. Thank you so much. Means a lot. It is exciting, man. It really is. Rich with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. It says, what % chances you think we sign Garrett? Now, I'd say probably 40%. I think it's out of our. I mean, realistically, it's probably going to be a lot lower than that, just because it sounds like there's going to be a holdout happening. It sounds like the Browns are going to. They're standing their ground and not going to trade him. They're literally holding him hostage right now. That's what's going to happen. Appreciate the super chat, man. Power on says Fan Project Day 2 guy, second round. Yeah, that's realistic. Eagles like him a lot. Fanning Jr., they like him a lot. Gunnar Hansen, they like him a lot. He had a bad combine because he fucked up his ankle on the 40-yarders, on the 40-yard dash. The Eagles, the LSU tight end, that Tyler Mason from LSU, they really like him. So they have, we're going to see what they do with that Dallas Goedert contract, but, we'll see what happens. Nate says, time to break out the Matt Corrals. Yeah, bro. It's in the closet. It's ready to go. Promise you it's ready to go. Nate says, forget to ask, where did you get that hat from? Whose mom or wife? I got this hat from NFL Shop. It's the Super Bowl hat. The regular Super Bowl hat. I showed you guys seen this hat before. Right? Yeah, it's a Super Bowl hat. My hair's I gotta cut my hair. I gotta buzz my shit. Badly buzz. Is there any chance Sweat stays because defensive and free agency market is no. He's gone. After that Max Crosby deal, bro. I mean, he ain't gonna get that type of money, but it's a lot. I mean, Milton's definitely gone. He's been gone for a while. Like, that's gonna be nuts. But Tanner says you and Philly should get display cases for those Corral jerseys. Yeah, maybe. Maybe before I maybe before I retire from YouTube, I'll put it in a glass case, sign it, and put it on auction or something for you guys. I don't know. Maybe those things are. I haven't washed that shit. Well, I only wear it for 3 days, but realistically, I'm sitting down with it on. It's not like it's outside or I'm sweating in it or I'm running in it. I haven't, you know what I mean? I'm not washing that shit, Lex Rhodes says Browns are in no position to keep Garrett and hold that. Well, yeah, they have the leverage. They can. They can do whatever they want. He's still on contract, so realistically they could. There's nothing really. The only way that Myles Garrett could fight back is holding out. And when he holds out, all that money that he loses per game goes straight into the Browns' pockets. Their cap's going to go back up. It's going to add to their cap space. So it's a win-win for the Browns. It's a win-lose because they're not going to have him playing in games if they're ready for a Super Bowl, which that Myles Garrett don't care. But to hold out at 30 years old, who wants to hold out at 30 years old? If you have a player on your roster that has a mindset of not even being involved with their fucking team, just get rid of him. I cut the rope off mine. Chris Tanner says, never wash it. It will wash away the good luck. That's how I think about it. Kane says, I hope they bring back Isaiah Rodgers and Oren Burks. I think they can. I think Isaiah Rodgers is going to be dirt cheap. And Oren Burks, he might get a little bit of extra money just because of the, playoff run that he had. Because he really started half of that Packers game, and then he just continued on, to the Super Bowl. So, give it time. Those signings might not come immediately. They'll come before the draft, but I would just wait to see if they sign somewhere else, and we'll see what happens. Stev says you can't bring everyone back. No, you can't, and you shouldn't bring everybody back. You got to have turnover, and you got to draft, and you have to. You know what I mean, Milton leaving, like Milton Williams and Josh Sweat leaving doesn't put me in some panic like it does some other people that we have to go out and get Myles Garrett. Like we don't have to do it, but realistically, like yeah, I mean. To have fun and to trade for a guy like that and say, hey, let's put him next to Jalen Carter and see what both of them guys could do next to each other. Shit, it's exciting. But this is the perfect offseason program, man. The market, I mean, there's so many defensive linemen available, bro. Whether it's trade, whether it's free agents, I mean, they're going to sign a DT. I feel like they're going to sign an edge rusher in a DT. They're going to sign a rotational DT, and they're going to sign an edge rusher, and then they're going to go into this draft, and they're going to do it. Then they're going to double dip at another edge rusher in the first round. That's what I feel like they're going to do. But what's stopping from all this from happening for me is that number 2 corner spot. That's the spot where I'm kind of like, what are they doing here? With Slay, I mean, guys, realistically, what if Slay does get resigned? Like, how are we even going to feel about that? Realistically, I mean, to be honest, I don't think it's gonna. I think fans will be pissed off a little bit, but realistically, like I know in season, like as a player, he'll be fine. But they need to back him up with somebody. If Slade does get re-signed, they have to back him up. Like somebody has to, like how many times he going to the blue tent every fucking game? Like 4 or 5 times? I don't know. The dynamic retail says, "What do you think about the Trey Hendricks trade?" I think it's great. I mean, you're only giving up from what the news was, it was a late second. Let me hold on. Let me bring that up. This is from another account. If I could find it. I should have it because I made a video. Jesus, it's fucking I can't wait to upgrade this computer fucking in June, July. Shit. Hold on. Well, apparently from the news, it was a late second. A late second to an early third of what's going to cost for Trey Hendrickson. That was really the rumors of what was going on. I'm sorry. I have to. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Sorry. I had like a little nose picking session, so I am sorry. Maybe I shouldn't unveil that news, but I don't want to show that on camera. Do you want to see that? Probably not. You probably don't want to see that at all. So where the hell? There it is. Sorry. I'm very, 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 I'm very realistic with shit. So let's see. Rex says Eagles have 7 picks in this draft. Hopefully Howie makes it work. Oh yeah. L. Campbell said, I'm done with Slay. Thank you. Your services are no longer needed. That's the demanding news for the Trey Hendrickson trade. A late second. I tried to find the fucking picture that I had, and I can't find it. I had it, and it disappeared. Oh, here it is. I got it. Okay. So this was, let me show this. And by the way, guys, you didn't check out those champion shirts that we're selling. They're absolutely beautiful, by the way. And we have a lot more shirts that might be coming out in this style, limited edition wise. So definitely check them out because they're pretty rad. They're pretty nice. So definitely go check them out. Definitely go check them out if you guys haven't. Hold on. Let me see here. Okay. Hold on. Yeah, it was this one right here. They said the Bengals are seeking a late second round picks or early third picks for edge rusher Trey Hendrickson per Jay Jones 9. So, and obviously part of the Cincinnati crew over there. From some of the news we've been hearing about that. So that would be fucking that's much better. You get as long as they can keep that 32nd pick, bro. Get Trey Hendrickson wanting a championship and fill it. I mean, this would be great. I'd have no issue with it for that. And then you could just go into the draft and go get somebody, whatever. And then you draft a young guy for years to come, and you have Trey Hendrickson just to help you out, which is a good thing. So, we'll see what happens, Let's see here. Remember the lady from Delco cursed on TV after Hargrave sacked the Saints QB and got hands to the face? I think I kind of remember that. L. Campbell says, is it weird that because Slay isn't a real Eagle, he doesn't rock with any team? He's individualistic. He's like... It feels like he plays for the Eagles, but he acts like he's like... When he's not playing and he's just doing his podcast, he's like some fucking reporter that he feels he could just have loose lips over everything. You know what I mean? He said some stupid shit, dude. He literally dug his own grave, bro. He dug his own grave. Greg Mo said, I like Slay, but I have to admit, he's a damn knucklehead. He really is, bro. Just go retire. Go enjoy your fucking wife's banana pudding and just leave everybody alone. That's all. That's it. He's like, these are my top 5 quarterbacks, blah, 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 blah. Oh, but, Jalen Hurts, he's my quarterback, but I'm just talking about these quarterbacks in their own elite, they're elite in their own way. It's like, OBJ is better than Devontae Smith. I pick OBJ more than Devontae Smith. Like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? You just got a ring on your finger and you're like, what are you doing, bro? Like, can you just not accept, like, interviews from people? Like, why do you have to be on interviews? Like, you weren't even making a video for your channel or a live stream for your channel. Like, you just went on someone's interview and just, come on. Like, what the fuck? Jalen Carter and Hendrickson went to the same high school? No shit. Is that true? Holy shit. Richie says, I don't see any difference from Slade or Chris Long. Chris Long's retired, dude. That's the difference. He's retired. Chris Long never did that shit. Did Chris Long for the Philadelphia Eagles in season for this fucking Super Bowl year, did he ever do anything stupid like that? Fucking never. All Chris Long talks about, he talks about other stuff in the NFL, but he talks about the Eagles all the time in a positive fucking faction. They are not the same fucking person. No. Definitely fucking not. Reese says, Trevon Walker scares me in the wrong way. He seems like he underperforms and plays well because he's on a bad team. Yeah, well, that's why everyone loves Myles Garrett, because he's so consistent every year. Never, you know what I mean? He's just consistent on a bad team every year. Not even a team that makes the playoffs and loses every year. Like, they don't get nowhere every year, and he puts up really good fucking numbers. Defensive Player of the Year candidate? Come on now. That's why, like, everyone's jumping for joy over fucking Myles Garrett. Wants to see what it's going to cost. We need a ring chaser, bro. We have the team right now. This team is 88% done right now. As of right now. Like, that's how good this roster is right now. Okay? That's how great this roster is right now. Parfly says, yeah, why does Slay even want to play for another year? He's 34 coming off of well, I think he could still play another year. I don't see why not. I mean, his age is starting to show when it comes to, like, his injuries. But let me tell you something. Like, or he's out for a play, he's in the blue tent, things like that. He hasn't necessarily missed a lot of games, but obviously Isaiah Rodgers was a nice, really nice piece for us. Really was. Came in there at the right times. So... El Campbell said AJ needs to stop inserting himself in Ish has nothing to do with him. Watch next year around November, he will say something. 23, 24 around the same time, he will say something. Yeah, he already said when he tweeted that stuff out today about what was going on, like he already said, like, this doesn't even involve me, but I have to kind of say it, like, and then Chauncey getting involved, I totally agree with. Like Chauncey, I mean, if I say to you, who is the Eagles who is the leader of the defense right now? If there's who's the one player that gives you that rah, let's punch somebody in the fucking mouth before a game, I bet you would say Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, the first player you would talk about. This guy saying, Reed Blankenship will take over for me when I'm gone. It's like, what? I love Reed Blankenship, don't get me wrong, but it's like, he ain't the first one in my thoughts that's leading. He's the next fucking leader. Like, what? Trust me, I'm gonna have a lot to say on that fucking Philly Shakedown podcast tomorrow. It's things are gonna happen tomorrow. Yeah, Baughn's a leader. Yeah, he's a captain. Like, he's a leader. I get it. But like the highest energy guy on this defense is Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. 1,000,000%. Big attitude, big personality, talks a lot of shit. That's Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. And, Jalen Carter as well. I love Jalen Carter. I think Jalen Carter is my next jersey next year, honestly. Jalen Carter is he's got that old school mentality, punch you in the mouth, gets in your head. Like, love him. Love him. Yeah, Go Birds 09 says Slay is literally Parsons on his stupid podcast. You know that Eagle fans are going to be pissed off, and yet you still go on Micah Parsons' podcast in season. I mean, the shit, like, it's just like, you don't do shit like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, BG. Yeah, of course. For high energy, of course. But I'm saying because Chauncey was saying you don't have to be an old vet to be a leader. Like, look at the young guys, Just because you're a vet doesn't mean you should be leading. I mean, you could lead by example in a million different ways. You could lead by example, but not being the rah-rah type. You could be the rah-rah type. There's different types of leading, no doubt. Richard, would Jalen Hurts say that Darius Slay is a top 4 cornerback? If asked, probably not. Of course he would. Of course he would. He'd fucking, bro, like, I forgot what interview it was, but he was asked about top players, and he literally, I forgot what position it was, but he put one of our players in there. But he's not stupid like this idiot is. These quarterbacks have their own eliteness in a different category. Like, what the fuck does that mean, bro? Like, what does that mean? Because they put up good numbers in the regular season? They're not fucking winners? Because Josh Allen could fucking have like 3 rushing touchdowns, 3 passing touchdowns, lose the game, and still be talked about for MVP? Like, what is that? Like, what is that, bro? I mean, I get it. He got it. Like, I get it. But, how do you want to be remembered, bro? By regular season statistics, then losing in the playoffs? Is that how you want to be remembered? How do you want to be fucking remembered? They took A.J. Brown from the Tennessee Titans that didn't want to pay him, and they turn him into a 3-year fucking all-pro player, breaking Eagles records. They take Saquon Barkley from a bad fucking football team. Everyone said he was washed, he was injury-prone, he ain't going to do it. And look, over 2,000-yard season, breaking records left and right. Like, what the fuck, dude? Slade definitely would say he's top. Of course he would. Of course he would. Slay's been raising Joey's hackles for. Oh, he's been the last few years. He's fucking pissed me off with some of his comments, bro. You don't see Devontae Smith and Jalen Hurts and all these guys fucking having these little interviews during the year with other players. I mean, you know, if you fucking stream with Micah Parsons, they're gonna give you shit for it, and then you do it anyway. You do it anyway. Like, why even attempt, bro? Why even? It doesn't matter what your reasoning is. It doesn't matter. We don't want to see you talk to the opposition, bro. We don't want to see you talk to the opposition during the fucking year. Nobody wants to see that shit. Steven says, Hurts played with Calcaterra in college. After a touchdown, Jalen went out of his way to pay him in the back before he celebrated with everyone else. Oh, yeah, I mean, dude, I totally forgot they played together in Oklahoma, right? Oh no, yeah, it was Oklahoma because I think Calcaterra had a lot of he had like issues with concussions in college. I know a lot of time. Greg said, "What I really love is what Fangio has done with Zach Bond." I know, dude. What I've been saying, I was like, dude, like he's got to be main priority for the offseason. It's got to be main priority. There's no doubt. Like, bro, like if they let that man walk, they got to draft linebacker in the first round. Like they still can, but I'm saying like if they let Bond walk, you think it's going to be Trotter Jr. and Ben Van Sumeren come off a knee injury and no Nakobe Dean until fucking October, November, probably the rest of the season? Probably not. Joseph said they deleted social media. Some of these guys deactivate their shit. I've seen AJ Brown's deactivated his X account during like playoffs, or he don't want to hear nothing, dude. They hear a lot of shit during the year. And trust me, they hear everything. They might act like they don't hear shit, but you know, you see after they win that Super Bowl, you're like, damn, all the shit they heard all year, what was being said about this fucking team and specific players, and you know, it's just motivation at this point. Oh, Smitty deleted it? Like Jalen Hurts, like doesn't even run his own X account. Somebody runs that shit for him. If everyone thinks that he runs that, they don't. Somebody runs that shit for him. He's not on fucking, you know what I mean? He's not on there doing shit. You know? Like, look, at the end of the day, like I'd rather see just spill the soda again, bro. Motherfucker. Keep spilling the soda, dude. The fucking shit keeps overflowing. I'd rather see fucking the punt returner. What's his name? I don't even know if they're bringing him back yet. Oh my god, why am I forgetting? I'm forgetting his name because literally we barely talked about him in so long. Oh my god, somebody help me. I'm really bad with names tonight. I don't know why. Eagles punt returner that was hurt all year. What the fuck's his name? Why am I forgetting his name? Just like Trevor Keegan. I remember his name. I don't remember his name all the time, and then it comes back to me. Are the Eagles riding with Shipley as running back 2 or vet coming? Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I feel good about Shipley. I do. But, yeah, Britton Covey. I would rather see Britton Covey get carried around by his girlfriend on TikTok videos all year that he makes with her than fucking watch Slay with his fucking podcast. You ever watch those videos of Covey and his girlfriend? His girlfriend is like way taller than him, and she like picks him up, and they make these weird videos, like weird videos. She's like picking him up and like going in circles with him, like carrying him like a baby. I have no idea. It popped up one day, like I think it was last year. I was like, okay, whatever, you know, shit like that. I don't know. But you know, I'm kind of just off the train now. If they re-sign him, then it's whatever, you know. You know, it is what it is. David G says safety is a sneaky need. Only real weakness of the D is Reed, and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson coverage should draft a safety that could play in the slot. Maybe Malak. Malachi Starks is a pure safety. Malachi Moore is your more Malachi Starks is your more traditional safety. Malachi Moore is your hybrid safety / inside corner. Malachi Moore is a second round, like a second day pick. So that would arouse me. God. Fucking weird, man. Yeah, I mean, they have interest in safeties, bro. They have a lot of interest in safety in this draft. I don't think Fangio likes it. Sidney Brown is just reckless with his tackling. I like his coverage in 23. He showed us some really good things. But then you have like then you have what's his face? McCollum, that's bad in coverage, and his tackling's okay. They have McCollum over. You know, Sidney Brown. Sidney Brown is just like he acts like it's he's on kickoff when he's playing safety. I totally get it. Like he's a physical player, but he's just reckless at times. That backup safety spot is not good right now. It's not good. Malachi Moore, I think, is the perfect fit in Philadelphia. If they want to put him on the inside, and like realistically, like who are you going to sign in 26? That Cam Jurgens' contract is going to kick in. Nakobe Dean's a free agent. You could bring him back for cheap if that's what they want to do. Jordan Davis is going to be cheap. By the end of 26, they're going to have to figure out the Jalen Carter contract as well. So, you know what I mean? We'll see what happens. But safeties, they interviewed Starks. They interviewed Moore. They might be interested. Because I don't think they have a plan. They extended Britton Covey last offseason to play through this year in 25. And that's all they've done. He's going to get a big contract. It will be a nice, efficient contract that Britton Covey, that Reed Blankenship is going to get. And he deserves it, bro. He deserves it. He was a gem that we found out. I think Chauncey got hurt in 22. He came in and he just started making plays. Like, they gave him an opportunity. He ran with it, and that was it. Master says, got sign waiting in the wings. Might have something. Yeah, I mean, he's a former first-round pick that hasn't worked out. They might try to pull some skill set out of him and see what they can get out of him. So, I think safety, I totally forgot they had him because they signed him. He was more for the future contract, whatever, for the offseason. But we'll see, Dave said, I want to see the Georgia safety. Lewis, I already read that. Parson, Malachi Starks, Malachi Moore is who we get if we got a safety. There is also some guy from South Carolina. I don't know who it is. I haven't popped my armpit cherry. What the hell does that mean? Eagles have landed Super Bowl 59, says Nick Iwanor. Is that the corner? That's the corner, right? Who's the best? He's the best corner in this draft, isn't he? You see that corner class, bro? They are all fast. All those dudes are fast. That class is quick this year. Terrence said, man, I can't wait for the draft. One of the best times of the year. Yeah, the draft is like Christmas, bro. It's Christmas. It's like waking up ready to open a present. It's pretty much how I think of it. Nifty 350D with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. Says, what did Slay do? Would you have him one more year? Honestly, well, Slay did a lot of things, bro. Like, we've already talked about it a million times tonight. Answering a question on who your top 5 quarterbacks are. He doesn't put Jalen Hurts into that category. He asked about who was better, Odell Beckham or Devontae Smith. He picked Odell. Who would be the leader, to replace you if you're not on this team next year? He didn't mention Chauncey, and he mentioned Reed Blankenship. Then Chauncey got involved and had a bunch of tweets. And then a Commanders fan was playing GTA 5 with Darius Slay, and he wanted him to come to the Commanders to win a ring. And, Slay was like, oh, if the money's right, it's tiring, bro. It's fucking tiring. If the Slate comes back, does it matter if he's out of line? Yes, it matters. You don't want a player to cause distractions. I mean, obviously the players probably won't give a shit too much. I mean, he's not like going out there saying, "Oh, like saying that a player is trash or throwing somebody under the bus or anything like that," but it's just he's passively like giving the media what they want. And he's just so fucking stupid. He's just millions of dollars. He's done one thing his whole fucking life, and he's just dumber than fucking rocks. Unfortunately, some of these NFL players are fucking stupid. Like, they know nothing but just. This is why some of these NFL players go broke after they retire, because they make some really bad decisions with their money. And it's just the truth. You know? So, you know what I mean? So you don't want that shit. And honestly, like, if they resign him, am I going to be furious over it? What? Probably not. But like, he didn't. I have to give him credit for the past season, because he really didn't do anything bad during the year. He was pretty fucking focused this year. He got into the playoffs, man, and Slay looked like he was like 25, 26 in the playoffs. He looked really good. But you have to remember this, too. If he comes back, I'm not going to be mad, but we have to remember this, too, okay? You know, A.J. Brown said the interview with Jilly the Kid, bro, like, him and Jalen Hurts bump heads. It happens. There's nothing wrong with that. They got to work their shit out. They work it out. It's done. It's a business before it's a friendship. You know what I mean? That's what it comes down to. It's a business before a friendship. So, there's nothing wrong with bumping heads with players, you know, in a healthy. If it's because of a play, or that's fine. Like, it happens everywhere, but the media just puts a microscope on it and paints a bad picture on it all the time. So I'm not worried about him stirring up trouble with the team. It's just, social media wise, he's just not good at being a professional, like keeping things PR rated. Like, just make everybody happy. Just say the shit you're supposed to say, which you should believe that Jalen Hurts is a top quarterback in this league. The fuck, man? What is that? Nifty 350D with the super chest. I didn't see what he said. Honest players having podcasts of screwing up the. Oh, I hate it. It says Micah is just as bad. Oh, Micah's worse. Micah's fucking worse. Micah's worse because not only is he bad off the field, he's bad on the field. And he's like, always like looks like he's crying every time they're losing a game, or he throws a hissy fit, or he walks off the field early when they lose. Like what was that game he walked out early? He went in the tunnel early, like, stupid, man. Why take a stance on what they said? Well, maybe he just didn't read up on all of it. That's all. But I think he's right. That podcasts are screw. You put a target on your back when you have a podcast. You have to watch what you say. Like I said earlier in the stream, like, he's not some, these players aren't some Joe Schmoes with these 9-to-5 jobs like us, okay? They have fame to their name. They're celebrities of sports at this point. And whatever you say, bro, it's not going to go well. If you say the wrong thing, it's on there forever. The internet is as toxic as it can be. Let's see. Nurse Frank says, don't need to bring Slay back, a liability on and off the field. Yeah, like I said, I don't think it's bad. I just think, like, these little things just annoy me. Like, I don't think bringing him back is a bad idea. Like, even if he re-signs back, I won't be mad about it. But, like, I don't like the shit that he does sometimes. It doesn't turn me off, but sometimes it does. I'm really, at this point, I probably wouldn't bring him back. Like, I don't care. I'm kind of half and half on it. If he comes back, I don't have control over it, Oh, that was versus the Bengals when he walked out early, Jaden J, 2100. Yeah. Joe says Slay's only interception this year was against Hurts. What do you mean? No, he didn't. He intercepted the ball this year. He had a pick. He had a pick against the Packers. He had a pick against the Packers, didn't he? In the playoffs? Yeah, you got to pick in the playoffs, right? I thought that. I mean, I don't care about that. I don't care how many picks he had this year. Like, that doesn't mean anything. As long as he's covering and they're not throwing, as long as he's covering, he's deflecting those balls and, whatever. I don't care about that. Picks are, a good. It's another thing about a stat line, Nifty says, never speak quiet. Oh, no. Yeah, no. Parker, just whatever you were going to say, just spam it a couple times. And then when I read it, I'll read it. Paulie says, I don't know. I just feel getting criticized for your own opinion is crazy. Everything don't got to be. Yeah, I mean, well, that's the internet, bro. I mean, it's a shitty world we live in. We don't get the right TV shows. We can't get movies made that we wanted. Political aspects are being pushed, and everything that we, a lot of franchises are ruined because of political agendas that are being pushed, and it fucking sucks, dude. Why do you think I'm a horror fan? Because that's the only genre I can watch where things are getting pushed, and I have more freedom in that regard, where I feel like I'll always like something, It's the same thing when these guys have their podcasts, bro, because Slay could talk about anything, but usually he does like a video after every game. Oh, we did this and we had a great game, and that's fine. Like, doing that is fine, but once you start like, when you lose games, Slay's done that in the past where he blames everybody and, oh, I had a great game. Seth Joyner calls him out on, the corners not tackling. They're not being physical. They're afraid to hit somebody. And he puts his accolades on Twitter, his whole career. Like, he's just, dude, this is what happens. You don't have these dudes that aren't homegrown talents drafted here. This is what you get. I mean, this is what you get, Stefan says, thanks for staying up late. Oh, yeah, I'm always up late anyway, so. David says, Slay played great in the playoffs, but time to move on. He was constantly in and out of games with injuries. Sign Rodgers. Yeah, I agree. Constantly in and out of games, in and out of the blue tent constantly. No, you don't got to spam it. Just wait till I read it. I'll see it, Parker. If you like, just put whatever you got to say. Just spam it a couple times. If I see it, I'll see it if it's there, and I'll read it. So, community says, can't be mad, Slay. It is what it is. We all know Jalen's a baller. All he does is win no matter what. All those other guys can't even hold Jalen's towel, let alone beat Mahomes. That's true. That is true. The missus, why don't we tag Milton Williams and trade him? Can't tag him. He's a free agent. He's not on contract. You can't tag players. You can't. Well, you could. You could. You could have, but it's like 26. I don't know how much of a DT is. It's over 20 something million, fully guaranteed. You're not. The Eagles haven't tagged a player since Deshaun Jackson. Oh boy. So my buddy Anthony, right? My buddy Anthony, the Charger fan. So one of my best friends I used to work with at the supermarket a long time ago. He's a diehard Charger fan. So he sent me a thing because he gets a lot of Charger dues connected to the Eagles. Eagles are projected, okay? Eagles are projected. This is from ESPN. Eagles are projected to sign Defensive Player of the Year candidate Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack from ESPN. I know you can't see that well, but there it is. That's another realistic sign the Eagles can make. because he's relatively going to be cheap at 34. He's not. He's going to be a depth signing for the Eagles. He'll be in the rotation. So I wonder if that's scouring around Twitter right now. I wonder. Oh, this shit. I don't see a lot on it right now. Nifty 350 with Super Check. Can Ringo replace Slay? And a good question. Maybe if he dropped the 210 to 195, he ain't a bit more agile. He ran fast to Slay in the 40. No, it's not even about that, dude. I think it's just he needs to play more. That's it. He needs to play more. So Khalil Mack now seems to be, yeah, I know he's too old. I get it. He's too old. That's why he's going to be cheap, and he'll still produce for you for cheap. You know what I mean? So think of it as a guy that's going to be in the rotation. They're going to bring Khalil, if they bring Khalil Mack in, they bring Khalil Mack in, okay? They tell him, hey, look, like, you're going to be a rotational player. You're not going to start on the line, but you're going to rotate in. I think he'll be a rotating in type edge rusher for the Eagles. I don't think he's going to start with next to Jalen Carter. I don't think that's going to I don't think that's going to be the starting possibility for him. So that's pretty. I mean, that's not bad news. I mean, I don't know how many years you're going to keep him for a year. If he's a year rental, who gives a shit? Go sign Khalil Mack. They might sign another guy. I mean, you never know. They might. I think they're double dipping at edge rusher. Realistically, think of Khalil Mack coming in for Brandon Graham. Think of Khalil Mack coming in for an older Brandon Graham. Brandon Graham's what, 37? So I mean, we want Brandon Graham back, and he's fucking 37. I mean, Khalil Mack's coming off of a fucking 6-sack season, I think. So, and before that, he was on a 17-sack season. You never know what his numbers will look like this year. You really never know. And Fangio knows how to use him. Fangio knows how to use him. And by the way, like, Khalil Mack loves Vic Fangio. Loves him. Think of Khalil Mack as a product of Vic Fangio that, with a good fucking team around him, forget it. You know what I mean? Tanner says will likely be a 1-year deal, would probably be a Brandon Graham type of role, the veteran role. That's what I think it's going to be. I don't think Mack is starting. Mack will be in the rotation, but he's not starting on the line. No. I don't think he's starting. I think you're only, Joseph says, is cap space with or without BG? I think without. I think if Graham doesn't come back, you're signing Khalil Mack. I highly doubt they're going to sign Graham and Mack. Having two players that are that old on this defense, I don't know if that's the right decision. Bringing one of them back, I'm fine with. Two of them, probably not. I'm done with Bryce Huff, dude. I'm done. No. If you don't even play him in the Super Bowl as a healthy scratch, and he's a healthy scratch for that game, well, that's not a good sign. Parterfly said, I remember saying Mack was too old in your chat a couple days ago, and while that may be true, he still has a lot of juice left and had a great season, would be a fantastic. Yeah, I think as a rotational guy, Parker, I think he's great. I have no issue signing Khalil Mack. As long as you're not starting him and he's like your guy next to Jalen Carter, which I just don't think that's the right thing with the amount of other linemen that are available and the draft on top of it, and you know what I mean, and with Bryce Huff being here, I don't think, like I said, I think you have a lot more you could do with him as a give him that veteran rotation. He's got a lot of juice left. We even said to sign him last year. He came off that 17 sack season. I thought that I thought that the Chargers were going to trade him. I thought they were going to try to trade him. You know, at 33 years old, they were going to trade him. They never did, unfortunately. I was kind of shocked they didn't. I would have at least tried to get something for him. I think we need 1 DT and 2 edge rushers. Maybe 3. You never know. But I think we're good, though. You know what I mean? Because realistically, like, you're expecting Nolan Smith to get a lot of snaps as this opposite. You're looking for Nolan Smith to be the opposite side starter, the opposite side of. You're looking for him to be on Jordan Davis' side, so not on Jalen Carter's side. Maybe they will. I don't know. Depending on who else they bring in. If it's not, Jalix Hunt as well is going to get more snaps, more opportunity. Give those 2 guys more opportunity. Yes. Over what you have in the room right now, yes. Even though. So that's where I'm at. And guys, make sure if you guys haven't checked out the extra content for the Eagles, I put up extra draft highlight reaction videos and all that great stuff. Become a member. Doesn't matter what tier. Link is in the live chat right now. Just put it in there for $2 a month. Doesn't matter. Any tier is really just for support, but the content, you're getting double the content, all the draft highlight reactions, all of that great stuff. For $2 a month, literally, you could see double the content. So click that link if you guys have it. Become a member if you guys have it. If you want to, it's all up to you, obviously. So, do the Eagles break the NFC East curse and win it back-to-back? I think they do. I do. Communities has just go get the dudes from the draft. Save our picks. Well, you could save your picks. Khalil Mack is a free agent. Harold Landry from Tennessee, I think, and he's 28. He'd be a great signing for the Philadelphia Eagles. Another good signing. Harold Landry's a free agent. You know what I mean? You know, the Myles Garrett's a trade thing. Trey Hendrickson from the Bengals, it seems like they want a late first to an early 3rd round pick for him. They might not even want a first. If they can get a couple of those guys and if they can get like one of those guys and still have that 32nd pick in hand, then great. You know what I mean? I wouldn't even mind getting a DT in free agency for Milton Williams in the rotation, someone that lines up next to Moro Ojomo with the 2nd rotation if that's what they want to do. But I need to see what they do with tight end, right guard, number 2 corner, if Slay's coming back or not. Like, that's the next few weeks are going to be critical. Tanner says Landry would be a solid pickup. Yeah, he's coming off of a 9-sack season? I forgot. I don't know how many sacks he had last year. He missed the 22 season, I think, right? Didn't he miss? He missed the 22 season with an injury all year. I think it was ACL. But numbers have been okay. You know? David says with the comp picks from Milton and Sweat, Howie may have 4 third. No, he does. He has 3. He has 3 third rounders. You're getting a comp pick. All right, so let me explain. Milton gets signed to another team to a lot of money. You're getting a 3rd round pick for him. Okay. For 26, not this year, for 26. So you have your own 3rd round pick for 26. You have your 3rd round pick from the Hassan Reddick trade, because remember, that was a 26 3rd round conditional that never turned to a 2nd. So that's your 3rd round pick. And then you have the 3rd round pick for Milton Williams, 3 third rounders. You have your own 4th rounder, and then you have the comp pick for Josh Sweat signed with another team. So that's 3 third rounders and 2 4ths. And Howie's going to add more picks to that draft. You know how Howie, during the draft, he'll trade up, and then he'll trade like 1 pick. He'll trade like 1 pick for a pick. They need as many picks for 26, as much as they possibly can get. They will. They're going to have a lot of picks for 26. So, a lot of picks, no doubt. A lot of picks. Beast Guard said, I like the idea of trading our first so we can have 2 next year. Yeah, I mean, they could do that too if they want. I mean, they've done that in the past, having 2 first rounders. trade it to a team that like desperately needs it, that you know is going to be a bad team next year, and potentially, you have, that'd be great, but I think you might need it though, you might need it. He could do that. You never know. He might do that. He's done that in the past before, man. He's done that in the past. Having 2 first-rounders, especially if like you're able to get rid of that first-round pick, still win a Super Bowl this year. You go into 26 offseason and you have 2 first-rounders, 3 thirds and 2 fourths. I mean, fuck, man, you're loaded. You're loaded. Even having 3 third-round picks are very valuable. You know how valuable those picks are going to be? You could trade in a day. You could trade into, up to the second round pretty fucking easy with those picks. You could do a lot with those picks. 3 third-rounders and 2 fourths that's good competence. That's good. Those are good picks to have. That's extra ammo type picks. That's like move up in the first round like crazy type picks. So, Jonas says, Chase Young is a free agent. He's a lot younger than Miles. I want his career revived. Also, what's going on, man? Yeah, I'm not on that Chase Young train, bro. I don't think he's the same player he used to be, bro. I don't even think he's flashed a little bit from what he was as a first rounder. I think he's lost it. I think he's totally lost it. Chase Young is definitely not on my radar. I totally forgot he's a free agent, and probably the reason why I forgot is because I don't really feel good about him. Yeah, DeMarcus Lawrence is another one. Yeah, I don't even know if he's even played great up to par. I mean, Vic Fangio is going to get the guys, he whatever Vic Fangio feels, he's going to be able to bring another championship defense to Philadelphia for another year. Your turnaround is going to look really nice, bro. Your defense is going to look a little different, but it's getting younger, and you might bring in some ring chasers. That's why being in this position is great for the Eagles, because you bring in some ring chasers, shit, you're going to look good. You would become an attractive fucking spot in Philadelphia. That's for damn sure. So if you guys didn't know, my buddy that's a diehard Chargers fan actually sent me this literally today. That Khalil Mack is ESPN reported that I think I just reported on it a few days ago that there was rumors of Khalil Mack that he was a pretty much a big target for the Eagles come free agency. I don't know how many teams are like up and ready to sign him or anything like that. I'm not really sure about that. But it says the Eagles are projected to sign former Defensive Player of the Year edge Khalil Mack. Okay. And just to let, if nobody saw it before, there it is from ESPN. So I don't know when I'm going to ask him right now when this news came out. So it had to have been a couple days ago, because I remember reporting there was Eagles news like from Brandon Lee Gowton that there is some rumors behind the scenes that they want to sign Khalil Mack. So, I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. 100% makes sense. We're going to generally think Steven Rose is the Southern version of you. He kind of looks like you. He's a Texans Longhorns fan, though. I don't know who the fuck that is. Somebody said we need to secure right guard and cornerback too at depth at safety. Those other 2 guys are bums. Yeah, I don't know if they're really going to work on that this year. I mean, realistically, what if DeJean moves to the outside? They draft Malachi Moore on day 2. They put him at that inside corner spot while DeJean plays the outside, and then Reed gets paid from another team in free agency. Malachi Moore moves back to safety. I don't know. Mack is a 3-down player. Well, he might. I mean, look, I'm not saying. I think Jalix Hunt's going to have more opportunity. We'll see what his offseason brings us. Because Fangio, obviously, I love Fangio because he doesn't play favorites like Jim Schwartz did. Like, he doesn't have this veteran favoritism type stuff. So if Khalil Mack, I think he'll get, he'll have more snaps than Jalix, but Jalix needs an opportunity here. He does, because he really lit up in the fucking playoffs. He really did. From his pressures, his hurries, quarterback hits. I mean, don't, you know what I mean? I understand that, but Jalix is going to need, in the second rotation, Jalix is gonna be a good player. I have a good feeling about it. My buddy just texted me. He said like 8 p.m. So much happening now. Geno Smith to the Raiders. I think that was dumb. So that news came out at 8 p.m. That Khalil Mack news. 8 p.m. it came out. So realistically, like, we could be hearing a move really soon. Maybe. I don't know. ESPN is saying that. So it's not third party rumors. It's, we always talk third party rumors to kind of speculate. I'm always about speculation. There's people like, you guys are just speculating. I'm like, bro, how have you been around this channel for a long time? Because I think I speculate a lot. I like to create situations and see if they'll actually work. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be Joe says, true, we can use a veteran to mentor a young guy like Slay did 1 year rental now. Like, oh yeah, of course, dude. Like, that's an awesome thing too. Like how Brandon Graham helped out Nolan Smith and Jalix and all these other guys, and how, the one thing Slay did a fantastic job was taking Quinyon under his wing and Cooper DeJean, and who knows, Bradbury might have helped some of these guys as well. And and he was hurt all year, but he probably coached these guys up a little bit, so it wouldn't shock me. Punjab, what's going on, man? Lucas says, what would you think of signing Jonathan Allen? I'd like it. Can't be it for top money. I think it's going to be for a little bit more money. I don't know if that's going to be possible. I don't know what he's looking for, so I'm not sure. Beachcart says, Hunt wearing 58 reminds me of Trent Cole. Yeah. It's nice, bro. I'm excited for Jalix Hunt a lot. The problem is they started him way too late in the season, and then he started to really come into his own. And that's just a sample size, just through the playoffs, Killer Ghost, what's going on, man? He says, what Mac news did I miss? Well, from 8 p.m. tonight, ESPN put out a, I don't know if it was on Twitter or Instagram. It says that the Eagles are projected to sign former Defensive Player of the Year edge rusher Khalil Mack via ESPN. That was 8 o'clock tonight. It's real news. It's not fake. So, they're projected. So maybe there might be some background noise of that everyone's hearing that Khalil Mack could be on the Eagles' radar, because he's going to be cheap. He's going to be cheap. It's going to be a low risk, high reward move. Khalil Mack, he knows he's coming to a great team to ring chase, and he's playing with one of his favorite coaches in Vic Fangio. I mean, it's a match made in, especially you already have a player that's played for Vic. I said this, bro, like, there has been one player the Eagles have had on this roster that's starting that played for Vic. Someone said, they signed a safety or whatever it was that was with him in Denver. I'm not talking about a signing like that. What player has Vic signed on this defense that played for him? Realistically, that has played for him in the past, that's starting on the field. Nobody. He's never brought a player in like that. That makes him even so much more. That makes it even better, Warian says, I was the few that stuck by CJ Shiitake all season long, even after the second meeting versus Washington. It's a key factor to get into opponents' minds. Oh, yeah. Jalen Carter can do that. Chauncey could do that. Yeah, he got his helmet. Chauncey got his helmet ripped off, and he got kicked out of the game. So Saquon got in trouble in a game for talking to the referee told him to stop talking shit to the guy. Like, what the fuck is that, dude? Seriously. Steven says Hunt will play a lot because Smith is dinged up. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he'll dude, I really don't want Nolan Smith to miss the entire like the entire fucking training camp. He's got to play like hopefully the last few weeks of training camp he's back cuz you really can't miss these off-season programs. Like he's going to miss some time, but he needs like he needs to be back like within the few like the at least the middle of the last month before the season starts. He needs to be back. So Jalix Hunt, yeah, so you're probably right. Jalix Hunt will probably get a lot more snaps. And that's not a bad thing. That's a great thing, you know. So and we'll be there. Where Hyde says would be nice to see if Max still has it. He's gonna have to settle for oh yeah, well that's what it is, dude. I mean, I don't see him signed at 34 years old. Like, what is that contract really going to look like? I mean, he's going to get a little chunk, maybe like a 1 year, $5 million, like something like really like a veteran deal, like a small, little veteran deal, something like that. Killer Ghost says Mac would be a great asset for 1 to 2 years if he's cheap. How you doing, Joey? What's going on, man? I think that would be a great signing for the Eagles because I know they're not done yet. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know they're not done. But realistically, you got to think about it like this, too. You have to think about what we already have and Nolan Smith at the edge. And obviously, Jalix Hunt is going to get a lot of snaps in the offseason program. He's going to get a lot of snaps, a lot of work. Okay. If that guy pans out, too, sky's the limit, dude. And you haven't even hit the fucking draft yet. You haven't even hit the draft yet for another edge rusher. Keep getting younger. Keep producing. Go into this offseason. Trust in Vic Fangio and what he does. I think we could all agree we should, I think we have a lot of trust in him now. When the season starts, maybe it doesn't look pretty. Maybe, it's you start a season, the defense has to gel, it has to gel, and it didn't. You were 2-2 before the bye week. Both sides didn't look so much close to perfect. Then post bye, Jalen's talking to Nick. Nick is talking to Vic. We need to run the ball more. I mean, everything changed after that fucking bye week. I mean, it changed. So, Dave said Mac would be a great replacement for BG. He's 6'3", 270. Didn't realize he was 270. Yeah, I didn't even know he was 270 either. I mean, I still think he has a lot of juice left. I do. I think he's got plenty of juice in the tank, to be honest. Jaden J2100 says never seen a player talk about a team in a negative or somewhat bad light after winning a Super Bowl. I'm still processing it like Jalen is still processing the Super Bowl victory. Yeah, I know. It's really just he's an idiot. He's an idiot. Stefan Paparo says Fangio is the number one reason. Oh yeah, he's the number one reason that. Yeah, Fangio's the main reason Khalil Mack comes to Philadelphia. Of course, there's no doubt about it, bro. That's the main reason. It's the main reason. Mack is like, bro, they just won a Super Bowl. He's looking at the fucking roster he's playing with. He's like, oh yeah. He's like, I'm in. I'm fucking in. This is this. I'm almost. My career's almost over, and like this is my last shot to like, whether it's for a year or two to get a championship or two. I think that's a really really good spot for him. Really good spot. Shale Max, I think they need to offer a 1 year, $8 million to Bosa, and same with Allen, and hit the draft hard for young depth. That front seven would be nasty if you add Bosa and Allen. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Allen, I don't know what he's looking for. He just got released today, so I haven't seen any rumors of what his contract's going to look like. How old is Jonathan Allen anyway? Ugh. Sorry, it's late, dude. It's like 1:27 in the morning. 30. Oh, he's 30. Okay. Jonathan Allen. Let's see the news on him. So he's due $16 million this year. Defensive tackle Jonathan Allen was part of the trade discussed between Commanders and 49ers as they executed Deebo Samuel deal, which is true. He was part of that trade, and then it just came down to Deebo Samuel in that 5th rounder. Ultimately, he was not included. Allen is due $16.4 million this year, a possible hurdle. Yeah, I mean, I am saying, dude, like, would you go after a Jonathan Allen? Would you go after a Javon Hargrave at 31 to fill in for Milt in that rotation behind, you're not drafting a DT in the 1st round this year. 2nd round possible, but you have to hit on offensive line. You have to hit on fucking tight end. You got to hit on other positions. Like, you have to hit on some other positions, man. Like, you might even hit on a safety. I mean, it's very, very interesting. It's very interesting. So, let's see what these comments are. It's crazy stuff. Where guys, this Hurts has to be the most hated QB ever to win a Super Bowl. I don't even think as a backup Foles was this much hated. Not that I remember. SMD Eagles, what's going on? Says don't forget to like and stream and subscribe if you're new. I appreciate it so much. Definitely subscribe if you're new. Definitely. And guys, pick up your memberships, guys. Pick up your membership. Extra the draft highlight reaction content. We're doing all of that between March and April. A lot going on. So you're getting double the content. Doesn't matter what tier that you're in, whether it's the $2 tier, $5 tier, the fit, whatever it is, for the tiers. I have to share the link for memberships now because my channel, Philly 500, got the same warning strike that I did for our sponsorship that we're both doing. I don't even have it on. I don't even think I have gifted memberships. No, like they took it away. They took it away from me because of the community guideline warning strike. So pretty much like they took away like the link for members. So I could give you guys the link and you guys become members, but you can't gift memberships or do any of that stuff anymore. So YouTube, so my strike should expire on the 10th in 2 days. It's the 8th right now. Technically, it's 1:30 in the morning. So 2 more days, it'll be gone. Hopefully, I'll get it back. So that's what YouTube took away from me, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. It happens. It was out of our control. We got in trouble for promoting gambling, what channel's not promoting? I mean, I don't know. We both got the same strike. He's on strike longer than I am because he did it. He got the strike later than I did. We both got warning strikes. Me and 500 got warning strikes from the same fucking source, which is horrible, but it is what it is. Ron says, crazy far how far Nolan has come. I remember when a lot of fans were off the Nolan train. Now look at him. Glad he turned it around. Guess we have Fangio to thank. That future is bright. I was on that train. I was, so I'll be humble about it. I've said it a million times. I was off the Nolan train. Jason Goes says we have to be careful trading for these defensive ends and we have to pay them. Well, I'm not worried about that. I mean, Howie Roseman's got all that taken care of. I'm not worried about money or running out I'm not panicking over that, bro. Because Howie Roseman's got a plan every single year. We've released 2 players in Bradbury post June release for $2.1 million, Slay for $4.3. The Saquon Barkley extension was like $7 million freed up. So that's all they've done. I mean, that's it. Like, they've done nothing with Dallas Goedert. They've done nothing with Jalen Hurts' contract. I'm kind of waiting for Jalen Hurts to get more money up front and extend that contract and fucking just get more cap space out of that. It wouldn't shock me. The Jalen Hurts contract doesn't matter because down the road, like the Eagles are just going to keep fucking extending him to keep that cap number low. And it's 21 million this year, the lowest cap number of all the quarterbacks in the league right now. We gotta get it says Steven prepares. Huff is going to play whether he likes it or not. We keep excluding it. Well, we have a lot of time left, bro. They can get rid of him during training camp. I mean, nothing is certain right now. They keep him. It wouldn't shock me if they get rid of him. If you don't play him in a Super Bowl, then that's how they, especially when he was healthy and he didn't have the club on his fucking wrist, on his hand anymore because of the wrist surgery he had. Like, you sit him out as a healthy scratch in the Super Bowl. That should really tell you what they think about him. If they keep him, it is what it is, but I just don't want that. I don't want Bryce Huff stopping us from getting anybody else. You know, that's it. Warrior Hines says YouTube is way strict. Your efforts are still A+ regardless of YouTube being so. Oh yeah, I know. I will, trust me. I've been through. Yeah, I've been through a lot with it. So part of life. So I really hype Jalen. Really hope Jalen is an Eagle for life. Do you think? Yeah, of course he will. Yes, 100%. Yes, I don't think he'll ever play for another team. Huff might be an Eagle in 25, I guess. You know, he might. I don't know. I mean, they have to somewhat dump this contract or pay a little bit of it. I don't know, to kind of sweeten the deal. I don't know what they're gonna have to do. But Terrence, I literally had to disable gambling ads on my Google account because YouTube was literally giving me gambling ads every day. YouTube is so, yeah, it's dumb. I think it was because that's why I don't play my BetUS video anymore, because I told them, I was like, I can't play it anymore because they're going to come after me every fucking time now, which makes no sense. I don't have it in the description anymore. Like, nothing. And by the way, this stream is sponsored by BetUS. So definitely check them out if you guys have not. Appreciate it so much. You want to start betting for next year on another Super Bowl. Why not? Win a lot of money. Steven's Huff will play in the preseason. Yeah, probably. I mean, look, like guys get shipped away during training camp, during preseason month. Like it happens. Joe says Kenny Pickett and Sidney Brown for Trey Hendrickson. Brown Bros reunion. Yeah, Seattle needs a quarterback now. Pickett, I wonder if Pickett will get traded. Wonder. That's going to be one move I'm going to look out for. Now, it said the Raiders were interested in a quarterback, and then all of a sudden they trade for what's-his-face from Seattle, which was stupid. I don't know. I think the Raiders got fleeced in that entirely. Sorry, but the Raiders trade for Geno Smith and give away a third-round pick for a fucking 34-year-old quarterback. Yeah, I don't know. That was kind of dumb, but just goes to the question if Howie trades for a defensive end, we'll pay that player. Yeah, of course. He needs probably get next. I don't. Well, no. I mean, it'll be a new deal, so chance to trade Huff to Atlanta for Kyle Pitts. Yeah, that's been the rumor. The rumor is that Bryce Huff would get dumped on to Atlanta because the defensive coordinator for Atlanta was a defensive coach for the Jets when he had his 10-sack season. That was really the big news of that. Yeah, I get it. Pete Carroll's there. Chip Kelly's fucking there now. We're going to see Chip Kelly for the first time at the Link, bro. It's going to be a home game against the Raiders this year. Remember in 2017 when Chip Kelly was the head coach to the San Francisco 49ers, if you guys remember, he was supposed to come to Philadelphia that year, and he got fired before that happened. Like, we never got to see Chip Kelly at the Link, bro. Like, that would have been crazy. Ron, I think Hargrave coming back on a 1-2 year deal would be interesting. No, Not a great run stuffer, but my God, he can rush the passer in a rotation with JD. I think he would make an impact. Yeah, he probably could. Like I said, I think this is the perfect market for the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, look, Joey Bosa is out there, Harold Landry for trade, Trey Hendrickson for trade. I mean, you have, Jonathan Allen is still is out there now, as a DT. I mean, there's a lot of defensive linemen are a lot of defensive linemen are available. And because you're a good team, because you're a team that just won a Super Bowl, and you're going to be a really big, you're going to be an attractive landing spot for a lot of guys, you know? KSF says trade Nakobe Dean. What are you talking about? Number one, he won't count towards the roster anyway. He'll be on IR, so he'll be on the shelf. You could put him on they're going to put him on IR like twice, or they're not. I don't think they'll put him on season ending, but they'll put him on the IR. Like he'll miss the first 8 weeks, and they'll probably put him on IR again. So we'll see how it goes. He's going to miss the entire year. He won't make it back until the playoffs. He'll be back before the playoffs, but it's going to take him like a month to coming off that injury. It's no joke, man. That patellar tendon injury is no fucking joke. It's no joke at all. Yeah, there are a lot of guys that are available. Hargrave's available. There's a lot of defensive linemen available, bro. So if you feel like you could trade for a lineman, whether it's edge or DT, and you don't have to give away that much, do it. Because remember, you're going to have a lot of draft capital next year. Jason Cool says Howie needs to go young and stay. Yeah, I mean, you go young and stay young, but you're going to have to add somebody. You're potentially losing Graham. You're losing Sweat. You're losing Milt. You're going to have to add somebody to help you out in rotation. You can't just not sign anybody and just say, let's just go. You're not trading for a player that's really young off another roster. It's going to cost you a fortune. You know what I mean? You're not going to do that. Can't do that. Depending on the player, you can't do that. Yeah, going young is fine. You need some turnaround with vets. You need another vet on this team. We're talking rotational. You're not spending a lot of money on guys in a rotational, you're not spending that much money. Your whole team just can't be, your team is basically young right now, but you're going to have to add somebody. So Chip Kelly's going to have an all-white team on a smoothie diet. Joe said we want Trevon over Miles. I would say yes, because I don't think the Myles Garrett situation is going to get better. Myles Garrett is going to hold out, apparently. Like, it seems like the Browns are still not wanting to trade him. I think it's just going to stay in a standstill, and I think it's going to get ugly. I don't think Myles Garrett's on the table for anybody at this point. If Cleveland doesn't want to trade him, that's what they're going to do. So, yeah, Milton's definitely not coming back. Let me tell you something. Before you start, if you have any idea that Milton's coming back, please disregard that. Erase it from your mind. Do not have any hope. He is not coming back. I'm speaking 3, 4, 5, 600,000%. He will not be back. After that DT from the Cowboys got signed to $21 million a year, that man is gone. That man is gone off of one guy getting signed in the offseason. He's gone. We're foolish if we give Harvard. I mean, to be honest with you, it's just an idea. I don't know if they're gonna do it. We've already had him for a few years. We've had him on a big contract for a few years. He played well for us, but is he the top guy we need? Do we need, I mean, realistically, you can go into the draft and get a DT. You know what I mean? But I'm saying signing a DT in the rotation isn't a bad thing next to Moro Jomo in that second rotation, and I like Thomas Booker. And that Byron Young from Alabama, it's another guy that they signed that I want to see in the offseason program, OTAs and training camp. Byron Young from Alabama, it's another guy that could step up. You know, when they see flash, man, like it starts to, you know what I mean? These guys start to produce. So, you know what I mean? I think DT looks pretty good, but I think they need to add one player next to Ojomo. So if they want to add a Hargrave there or a Jonathan Allen, if he's affordable, I wouldn't be against it that much. You know what I mean? You're not giving up draft picks for Hargrave. You know what I mean? You can get away with just you know what I mean? So I think there's a lot of things you could do. Rollins says, "Man, what if Huff pops off in 25?" Just saying, not holding my breath for it, but that would be crazy. I mean, that would be great. It just depends. Like, do they want to keep him? His contract is the biggest problem right now. If he was cheap, I wouldn't even like. I would just let him. If he was like dirt cheap and he costs us literally nothing, I would just let him fight it out in camp. And if he loses his job, he loses his job. It's just looking like a really bad contract right now. It was a panic move. I don't think Vic Fangio even agreed to signing him. I think because Reddick walked off, and then we didn't have anything in we didn't have anything in Nolan Smith at that time, so they really had no choice. They had to sign somebody. That was a big panic move by Howie, and it was a bad move. You're going to have that bad, you know, he has bad moves. It's going to happen, and it wasn't a good move. But if they decide to keep him on top of the salary, you know, it's not Bryce Huff's fault. It's how the Eagles value him, and he's not valued to be anything insane. $17 million a year, and I mean, and he's not really doing anything. Okay, so if I'm only saying trade Dean because of his injury history, the one full year of solid. Yeah, but you got to think of it this way, too. Dean's not going to count towards the roster this year. So you put him on the shelf, and you have an opportunity next year to sign him to a big contract. You have he's not going to cost anything coming off that injury. You know, sometimes these injuries are like a blessing in disguise because he might come back and be the same player and be a cheap contract. He ain't going to get much money coming off that, you know, how much money is he going to, in a contract year, he's going to be sitting. He's got no value to do anything with. Sure, you could trade him for like a late round pick or something, but I'd rather keep him, to be honest with you. And Bond's here for another 3 years, so why not? You know what I mean? It's going to cost you nothing after that injury. I'm not trying to get rid of him because look what he did. I mean, it's a shame. It sucks. I get it. Yeah, he's got injury history. I get it. That was really when we went into that draft for Nakobe Dean, that was the big thing on him. Like he was hurt. He was hurt all the time. That, you know, and he's been hurt almost every year he's been here. So Oren Burke stepped right in, and you know, I think that's going to make him a lot cheaper for us to re-sign him. You got to think of it in another way, you know. You can't trade a fucking player. I mean, you could, but no one's going to take him. Someone's going to take him, like not play. You can't trade him now. He's got no value right now. He's got no value right now. He can't even play. He can't practice. He can't do anything. So Joe says, got to replace BG, Slay, Goddard, and Lane this year's draft. Maybe wait a year for... Yeah, waiting a year for Lane is fine because Lane will be here another couple years. They're gonna have somebody ready by after this year. That somebody will be in like the progression of getting ready to either move to that guard spot. If they sign Mekhi Becton, that would be so much easier. And there's already been reports that Mekhi Becton wants to stay. So we'll see how it goes. Going on, Rome? He says, since when was being clutch not make you an elite QB? That's more important than arm strength or cute throwing angles. Hurts going for 3,500 this season. Potentially, yeah. I don't know, bro. I don't know how you win a Super Bowl. You win a Super Bowl with the quarterback that you played with that literally had no run game in this fucking Super Bowl. And and you don't even mention him as like your top quarterback. I think that's just... I don't like that. Ron's realistic. Do you really think the O-line will take a major blow if Becton walks? No, I don't. You say I don't. I think Keegan and Steen will do just fine. I'd almost rather save that money for a defensive signing. Yeah, I mean, if Becton walks, like, it just sucks because, like, he's got to make the right decision for himself, too. If he's getting more money from other teams, this might be his only opportunity. Who knows? But he knows if he goes to another team and they're a horrible organization and they're a losing franchise and he knows they're a bad team and he's never going to have the success, that's what he's going to have to sacrifice getting a lot of money for. No success with the team. So, it's really up to him. Really up to him. Don't put yourself in a bad situation again like you did. Like, you got drafted to the Jets. He can't control where he got drafted to, and the Jets, they fucked him up, unfortunately. He was never fucking healthy, and, he got destroyed mentally by Jet fans, the media over there, and yeah, just bad, man. So one guy, even if Mekhi Becton doesn't re-sign, doesn't make me all like, oh my God, we have to. No, I'm not. It's not even that. It's not even close to that, Not even close to that at all. Goddard is the biggest question mark. I agree. Because you're losing Goddard and you're losing Calcaterra after this year. Like, they're both free agents. And Goddard's an $11.8 million cap hit. It's no fucking joke, man. It's no joke. It is serious stuff. It is serious stuff. Where Hines says, Mekhi is such an outstanding story ending with him crying by his son. I'd be devastated to see him go. Yeah, I know, dude. I get it. My girlfriend is the same fucking way. She loves Mekhi Becton. She loves Mekhi Becton. Like, literally, she's like, man, like, I don't want to see that guy go. The way she saw him being all I mean, this is a guy that was crying just getting into the playoffs. I mean, do you know how fucking crazy that is? There's a dude and he's crying because, like, he's never gotten to the fucking playoffs before. Us Eagle fans, we get into the playoffs, we're just like, okay, we're in the playoffs. Like, he got all emotional going, just getting into just making the playoffs. It's crazy shit, man. So, if the number is right, the number's right, bro. They can free up a lot more cap. They just haven't done it yet. Like I'm saying, like, they have so many options for defensive line. They have so many options as for restructuring, extending. They've already done it. They've already released a couple players. They've already extended 2 players already. Like, they could mess with Jalen. I'm waiting for that Jalen Hurts contract to be messed with to free up some fucking cap, like major cap. I'm not even kidding. Goddard is going to chase the bag after this year. Oh, no, I don't want to extend Goddard after this year. I'm just trying to have him stay for maybe one more year, but his cap number is just too fucking high. It's 11.8 against the cap. That's a guy that misses 5 to 8 games a year. That's way too much. It's fucking way too much, man. He's dangerous, bro. Like, in the playoffs, fuck, he was great. Thank God he was healthy in the playoffs. And thank God we have a number 2 fucking tight end that's had a lot of reps the last few years. Him, Calcaterra, even when Jack Stahl, he's not here anymore, but when Jack Stahl was here, he was another guy that played well, But, in Stalin we trust. I won't make any more ShopRite comments. What are you talking about, ShopRite comments? What does that mean? Case, I don't know if you talked about this yet, but if Milton really is in no contract with the Birds so far, no. Dude, do not have any hope that Milton's coming back. That man is far fucking gone. There's been rumors even the last week, like, he ain't taking no pay cut. That man is going to get paid, and that's what they're supposed to do. You can't disrespect the player that's chasing his bag, bro. This is his second contract. in your second contract, you want to feed your family, you want to financially get your fucking, your situation right. This is where these guys get their wealth in their second contracts. He is gone. Rome said if that tight end from Penn State drops to us, yeah, well, yeah, I think they would. Tyler Warren, yeah, of course they would, but I don't even talk about Abdul Carter or Tyler Warren. I'm not even wasting my breath with both of those guys. There's, hey, you never know. Like I always say this every year. Everyone thinks they know when guys are going to get drafted, which no one knows shit. It's all speculation. But realistically, with those two guys, I mean, we're at 32. It's not like we're at 20. We're at 23. With those two guys, I don't even mention them. I don't even waste my breath mentioning them. Boston Scott, I don't know. He was with the Rams, I think, wasn't he? Ron says, on the other hand, keeping Becton might be smart because then Lane hangs it up. Becton can kick outside the right tackle. After all, that was drafted as a tackle. Let Stout do his thing. Yeah. That's why I feel like it would be more valuable because then they can get the next couple years, they can get their guy that they want at that tackle spot, at that guard spot for Becton to move to that right tackle spot. So they can have somebody in training for that guard spot in the meantime for a couple years, and we'll see what happens. Attack of the Hemorrhoid. What's going on, man? Appreciate the super chat so much. He says Slayer might as well start writing the thank you Philly letter now because he's definitely not being brought back. Oh man. I know, trust me, I know a lot of people don't like this guy. Like he just can't fuck it. Let's check this poll. 414 votes on this poll. Was Slay out of line? 78% of you say yes, and 22 say no. So we'll let that run for a little bit longer, and then we'll end it. Did they pick up Jordan Davis fifth-year option? No, not yet. That's another thing that I don't think Jordan Davis is going to be as expensive. I don't know. People hate Jordan Davis. I understand, like, he's not this big-time sack leader. I know he was a first-round pick. I get it. But I think from the turnaround that we're having with him and other guys, he's a major important piece for that D-line. Okay? He's the run stuffer. He's the hole clogger. Pause. He's making everyone else successful. Jalen Carter's making everyone else successful. Trust me. He's very important. I thought in that playoffs, I thought he did a really good job. The 22% aren't Eagle fans. Gotcha. The 22% haven't talked in this chat. I don't think so. Oh, I'm still on. I shouldn't be on, but I am. Slay, give me your ring. I can't wait to see what that fucking ring looks like. Cameron Holmes says we can extend Jordan Davis for a good bargain. Yeah. The fifth-year option for Jordan Davis, I don't know what it's going to cost, but they can always use that as like they did the same thing with Devontae Smith. So you have Devontae Smith for 4 more years, realistically. He's playing on his fifth-year option plus a few more years. So he always adds in that fifth-year option sometimes as like a loophole for an extension. Says that some guys want to buy their parents a house so they take more money. But, that's next year. I ain't worried about that. That'll be a more next year thing. Going forward, we're locking more players up. We'll have more turnaround, and we'll be drafting really well. So, but this free agency between trades and free agents, defensive line, you could do whatever you want. I mean, realistically, you could do whatever. The Eagles can do whatever they fucking want to do. She left says nobody's paying Williams $20 million a year, but that's what most we can afford to pay him. 10, 13. Teams are going to pay him $20 million a year. Yeah, they might. That fucking Dallas defensive tackle I never even heard of. They just paid him like 21 a year. and this man just won a Super Bowl. The Eagles don't want to pay no defensive lineman over $20 million a year. Nobody. Not right now, they're not. Karen Holmes, I think JD is a little underrated. Like, you get him in the rotation where he's fresh. He does great things in the nose. The most important thing is he's developing yearly. Yeah, you know what? It's like, I thought the NFC Championship game to the Super Bowl, I thought he was a fucking menace during the playoffs. Okay? I know that Vic took his snaps down a little bit. He's still got a ton of value, bro. Because realistically, he's like the only like actual nose that plays as a nose if we need him to. You know what I mean? So I'm not against it, man. I'm really not. I'm really not. So my girlfriend's doing the same thing, bro. Still watching. She's watched it probably 6, 7, 8 times. She almost wanted to watch it the other night. Jerry Jones says he doesn't believe in free agency. God, that fucking guy. You got Micah Parsons to a 5th-year option, bro. You got Micah Parsons. Like, Micah Parsons wasn't even signed before his 5th-year option. I mean, that's just fucking crazy. That's crazy. That's like they have the most worst cap management. They have to fucking restructure Dak. Like, where's all that money go? That $450 million or whatever the fuck they're getting back. Like, are they giving that all to Micah Parsons? Like, bro, like, is he playing on his 5th-year option? That's crazy. It's crazy stuff. We got Sean Maz with the super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. Didn't say anything, but I appreciate it so much, man. Ron says, I'm not the biggest JD fan, but it's true. He takes up a lot of blocks, so guys get their one-on-ones. You don't see that on the stat sheet. That's true. Just wish he was a better pass rusher. I mean, honestly, I think he's turned up a little bit. In 23, the first 25% of the season, he was he was getting pressure a lot, and then the whole defense fell apart that year. We all know this. It's not his fault. And then like this year, bro, like when we got to the playoffs, like Jordan Davis was fucking getting pressure, man. Like there was times where he got those one-on-ones and he just, I like him, dude. I'm sorry. I love Jordan Davis. Love Jordan Davis. Sean Moss says, love the vids, Joey. I listen to you every night. I appreciate it so much, man. Pause on that. The way that sound was, kind of weird. But I appreciate it so much. Appreciate Sean. I always fucking joke around, Rob Rice says, I know Cam Jurgens getting extension, but I really do see us staying Becton too. We'll pay him enough to stay in or hurt us in the end either. He wants to be an Eagle, and we'll be happy with the offer. Yeah. They'll work something out, bro. They'll work something out. With Jurgens, they have to extend him. They have no fucking choice. But Becton, we'll see. We'll see. Interesting what Washington will do in free agency. Yeah, I mean, so far, besides having 2 fucking 30-year-old receivers that are both coming off contract after this year, they re-signed Bobby Wagner. They re-signed Bobby Wagner. I know he's the leader of that defense. I get it, Bobby Wagner signed like a 1-year, $10 million deal. Like, they think they're like some Super Bowl. They think they're like in some Super Bowl chase again. Like we almost made it. Fuckers. And fuckers are replacing young talent. They're replacing young talent with fucking old ass fucking players that aren't even good anymore. Fucking bullshit. They're going to get better, but are they going to be better than the Eagles on paper? Probably not. The rest of the league and the rest of the league will be like, and then all the outlets are gonna, all the outlets are gonna fucking hype them up all fucking off season. Jalen's restructure is going to be the last piece and open up the gates. That's what I feel like. Because they could do whatever they want with that fucking contract. Like, they could do whatever they want with that. I'm telling you, it's going to free up some fucking space. Wagner's, like I say, Wagner's still a good player. I thought he played well for them. But he ain't doing nothing against the run. He ain't, good player, not against us. He's good, though. We need to draft Long Schlong Armstrong. Nice. I'll check his stats. I'll check his tape out. I was hearing Booker guard from FSU. Scotch Sunday says, don't understand the JD hate either. Because his numbers. Because people only give a fuck about numbers. Jalen Carter only had 6.5 stacks. 6.5 sacks, but everyone, no one bitches on him for his sack numbers. You know what I mean? You don't even, dude, like, at the end of the day, we're going to find out if Milton's the best. Let's see if could Milton Williams be that centerpiece for another team? Because I'm taught Jalen Carter makes a lot of players look good. He makes a lot of players look good next to him. I'm telling you. You never know, man. You never know. Yeah, Davis was great the last 2 games. He was good all year. I mean, there was times where, like, he probably didn't put up nothing, but like I said, you can't run up the middle on this fucking team. That's for damn sure. Am I buffering? Oh. I think my stream was buffering. Yeah, June, July, I'm going to be updating a whole bunch of stuff. Like this whole I'm updating, like, I know it's weird, like this is like the new season technically, but to me it's not. It's like a continuance of like the Super Bowl afterwards, but Sweating, yeah, both of them are walking. Both walking. It's going to be interesting. Where you hiding so I can look at the stat sheet and tell you whether he's good or not. What matters to me the most is the pressure rate and how well you can win your battles. That's true. Yeah, there's pressure rate. There's win percentage rate. I forgot what else there is. But, yeah, there's a lot of people that don't like... There's a lot of people that don't like Jordan Davis. Yeah, I was glitching. Yeah, I was glitching. I think my computer needs a major. I'm literally taking apart my whole computer June, July, and I'm putting in I'm upgrading this whole. I mean, it's already pretty much upgrade, but I need a better processor and I need a better graphics card. So I'm going crazy. Apart my whole computer June, July, and I'm putting in I'm upgrading this whole. I mean, it's already pretty much upgrade, but I need a better processor and I need a better graphics card. So okay, we're good. Karen says draft prediction for what Howie Roseman does first round. Trade up the edge, trade back, sit. Yeah, I have to see what they do in free agency, and then I'll kind of say, hey, I think this is what they're going to go after. But the greatest thing about that 32nd pick in this draft is that it technically is a second round pick. But realistically, they could, if there's like 5 guys on that board that are still on the board by 32, and they don't want, whether there's a guy that's jumping down the draft board that they're like, oh shit, we got to move up. You're only moving up if it's for somebody that literally you're not going to survive getting. If it's in reach, go get him. But because you have that 30-second pick, you have control of, if we draft this player, he has a 5th-year option. First round players have 5th-year options. Trade back, get another pick in the 2nd, 3rd round, something like that. Yeah, I mean, I think you're in it's weird because, it's the last pick of the 1st round, but it's almost like a luxury because you don't have to pay somebody 1st round money. You know what I mean? So let's get through free agency, I don't know what they're going to do yet of what they're really targeting at this point. You know, once we get through for a couple weeks, like, and start seeing this roster as like a whole, and then we get to see like, okay, well, I think the target will be this. Um, you know what I mean? I know people are going to want to move up, but how far can you move up? You think trades are expensive? Moving up in the draft is expensive. When the Lions moved up for Jamison Williams, I know they gave up a lot of fucking picks. I remember they gave up a shit ton of picks for him. You know? I think trades are expensive. Moving up in the draft is expensive. Yeah. When the Lions moved up for Jamison. Steph says, if Matt comes, Sweat is bye-bye. Oh, Sweat is bye-bye regardless, bro. He's going to get paid a lot of money. Sweat has been gone. I guarantee you. How's my mic cutting out? Restart the stream. Matt comes, Sweat is bye-bye. Oh, Sweat is bye-bye regardless, bro. He's going to get paid a lot of money. Sweat has been gone. I guarantee you. How's my mic cutting out? It's not cutting out on my end. I'm listening to this fucking stream. It's not cutting out. Just refresh the page. A lot of money. Sweat has been gone. I guarantee you. How's my mic cutting out? It's not cutting out on my end. 11.8 million. Sweat has been gone. Okay. Joey, we just need to see the Vikings draft capital if they're definitely trade back with us. Sweat is going to get top edge money. Yeah, it's going to happen. I'm not sitting here saying that I'm not sitting here saying that he's coming back. It's definitely not going to happen. But SMD says sounds good on my end. Yeah, my stream's fine. It's fine. Sometimes you just gotta refresh, like exit out of YouTube, close it, and then reopen it. Sometimes it's just a buggy thing going on. So yeah, but I think that's it, guys. We've been streaming for 3 hours, 14 minutes. It's 2 in the morning, 2:10 in the morning. I appreciate everybody that joined up. I mean, to stay with me this late at night. I mean, I didn't expect to be on this long, and I was supposed to be on at I was supposed to start at 10, not like 11 o'clock. But I appreciate everybody that joined up. We have the shakedown tomorrow, so me and Philly will be streaming. Oh, no. It's because my output is on. That's why you could. Yeah, I was literally doing this, sitting here saying that because my stream is playing in YouTube Studio. That's why. All right, it's paused, so we're good. Am I playing on anything else? No. I'm just making sure I'm not. No, we're fine. We're good. We're good. Do you think it's weird when someone asks you to? I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not even gonna say it. Do you? I won't say it. I don't know. Something's weird. I don't know. Yeah, I'm tired myself. Trust me. I got some stuff I got to do tomorrow. There's 213 in the chat. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the stream. Appreciate it so much, guys. Go pick up a membership for the extra content, the extra draft highlight reactions. Doesn't matter what doesn't matter what tier that you pick. It's all extra content and stuff. It's all extra content and things like that. And definitely check out the Philly Shakedown podcast merch, especially the Jalen Hurts stuff that we have as well in the store. So definitely check that out too. A lot's been selling like crazy. Appreciate all of the support to the Philly Shakedown podcast, all that great stuff. And so we'll be back with the shakedown Saturday. We'll be back with a stream on Tuesday. And I mean, we're going to be back. And we're going to be streaming every day from the 12th to the end of the first week. We'll see if we continue streams after that. We'll be streaming for an hour, 2, 3, 4 hours. I don't know, every day. So I'm going to have some stuff set up for us to stream. And yeah, we'll be good to go. All right. Appreciate everybody coming in today. You guys have a fantastic day. And I will, I'll see you guys on the next one. Shakes, what up, follow. So peace out, guys. And remember, this stream is sponsored by BetUS. So definitely go check them out if you guys have not. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Peace out, guys.